Buckle in, because we got a long one. On this episode of Playlog, we've got 2 festivals to talk about. My time at Summer Game Fest, and everything we've played so far at Steam Next Fest. Hey everybody, CGDannyB back again with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk things indie gaming. I think that was a sentence. It didn't sound like it came together. But I can't talk indie games alone because that'd be super boring. So I've got my partner in crime, the Play Nice Kid themselves, Tofr. What's poppin', homie?
I was scared to see Jeff Keighley again. And he duly delivered with one of the worst takes in the entire showcase. When he was like, "Oh, we're not gonna show you a Silksong trailer. We're gonna show you Deadpool VR instead."
What a time, man! What a time. Let me tell you, Xbox though, closest thing we got to a release date. Xbox had a set.
Yeah.
They showed us that handheld. The whole thing was Silksong. You're like, by the way, this is launching with Silksong will launch with this handheld we're making, and it's coming out this year. So we got the affirmation. It's happening. Here we go. We're gonna have it, baby.
Yes, he just didn't have to be like all snarky about it.
Yeah,
and I get it. Deadpool is the snarky one, but
yeah. I am interested. We had some, and this maybe it's off the records. We don't talk about it, but we had some conversations about like pricing and stuff for these events. Let me tell you, man, what an interesting conversation to have and learning some of those things. I'm not gonna put anybody on blast on what I've learned, but I've learned. And there's one of you content creators out there. I hear what you charge. That is disgusting. You are a strange individual. I mean, get your bag, but holy crap, that's a lot of money.
Okay.
Anyway,
listen, if people are willing to pay it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah. Get your bag. Spend your bag. Get your advertising. You know, you got to hit my stein. I was about to spill it. But yeah, this is going to probably be a longer episode. We're talking about Summer Game Fest. It's going to be about 3 hours and me rambling about the event and everything, and you asking questions, and then talking about the games we've been playing for Steam Next Fest, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So let's get the ball rolling. Real quick reminder, as part of our podcast, we'll be doing our bi-monthly now book club, where we go back and replay some indie classics or finally get around to some modern indies that we just haven't played yet. And for the month of June and July, we'll be playing American Arcadia. The cinematic puzzle game contains a 2.5D platformer and a first-person game to tell the tale of a thrilling escape. As Trevor, you have to escape the world's most popular reality TV show, where a drop in popularity will cost you one thing: your life. The thing is, people don't even realize you're part of the show. Set in a gorgeous retro futuristic 1970s, the game tasks you with trying to make it out alive. Play the game during the months of June and July on Steam, PlayStation, or Xbox. Then head over to our write-in form in the description and give us your thoughts on American Arcadia for our July 29th episode of Playlog Podcast. You can join us live on twitch.tv/CGDannyB for the discussion, or catch the upload a few days later on Thursday, the 31st on youtube.com/CGDannyB or audio platforms around the world. Timestamp. That's it, baby. Nice. No quick any news or write-in questions because the episode's already fucking long enough. So Tofr, I got invited to Summer Game Fest.
You sure did.
I sure did. So anyone who's like, what is Summer Game Fest? It's essentially Jeff Keighley's replacement for what formerly was E3. Really cool event. It's invite only, so the only way you get in is if Jeff and the team are like, hey, come on, you coming? I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. Let's go. So I got my invite, which was such a cool thing. I've told before, like I got my invite on the way to PAX. So I was very like overwhelmed with, I'm dealing with one con, preparing for another, and I'm not in the headspace for this. But thankfully Mike and Kyle from 6-1 Indie were like, we're going, you can bum it on our floor. And luckily it wasn't the floor. They had a cool little like window alcove book nook kind of place for me to sleep on. That was nice. Got my flight in. Let me tell you about the flight in a minute. But before I get into LA, SGF and everything else, I would be remiss to not mention the raids, the ice raids that took place this weekend. I was privileged enough to not have to see any of it. Like I was close to some of the smoke and stuff, but I didn't get to see any of the, crazy events that took place, any of the protests and whatnot. That being said, this whole weekend was filled with chaos because we have a terrible, awful man running this country. And it's really fucking shitty to know that families and friends were separated just because we have some racist, sexist, bigot, homophobic, the list goes on, orange man in the Oval Office, and I hate that for this country. So Anybody who voted for this man, you're just as bad. You caused this to happen. And I really hope you don't feel good about yourself. I hope you feel terrible and realize what you did. And if any of this statement makes you feel bad, you're not going to watch anymore. See ya. So long. I didn't want you here in the first place. Can't fucking stand it. And again, we're not a political channel. I don't have the legs to stand on to have a political conversation about this whole thing. But I know when someone's a terrible person, that's pretty clear. And man, does the list just keep growing longer and longer on why this man's a terrible person. But I digress. Be better to each other. You're awful. Anyway. Yeah. So that's that. Want to talk about Summer Game Fest, Tofr?
I'm just glad that you didn't get involved in like all of the violence happening out there.
Yeah.
Because I was sat here being worried about.
Yeah. Anyway, we're back. We fixed that. I think we should be good for audio stuff. And if not, oh well, life's a hideaway. We're golden. So back to SGF, right? My flight out was wild. So I was at a wedding on Thursday. On Friday, they were supposed to fly out. So Thursday was rehearsal dinner. Friday was the wedding. Flight at 10:30 p.m. out to LA to arrive at like 4 a.m. And then start the day at like 10 o'clock. So, big time change. First time going from East Coast to West Coast. Was whatever. My flight was at 10:30 at night. During the wedding, I got a text like, hey, we've moved your flight up. It's at 10 o'clock. So I already had to leave the wedding super early. I basically got to do like the reception, like, and here come the groomsmen, like, hey, bye everyone, I gotta leave, which really sucked. I wanted to stick around for the wedding, but you know, Jeff calls. After we do the entrance, I get a text that my flight's been delayed to like 11 o'clock, so I had an extra hour, and I was like, I should still go to the airport, like I gotta get this done, right? So I go back, I change, I get everything going, I get in the car, I drive to the airport. On the way there, I get a text, your flight's been moved to 12:30. I'm like, I'm already halfway there. I thought about going back and hang out at the wedding. Can't do it. I got it. I'm halfway there, go to the airport. So I get to the airport at like 9 p.m. I get the text, your flight has been reset to 10 p.m. So had I gone back to the wedding, I would have absolutely missed my flight because it was an hour and a half from the venue to the airport. So there's no way I would have made it. So I park my car, I'm waiting for the shuttle to pick me up, and I'm watching my phone tick. It's like 9:05, 9:10. I'm like, I have 50 minutes to get to my fucking gate. I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. Shuttle picks me up, I run to the airport, I get through TSA, super quick, super easy. I get through everything, people standing around, whatever. I think I sat down outside of my gate at 9:40. It's like 20 minutes before my flight was about to take off. Well, boarding anyway. It was a rough time. I was very stressed out. I didn't like it. But once I sat down, I was like, we're good. We're fine. We're safe.
You made it.
Flight was weird. But took the flight in. It was about a 5 to 6 hour flight or so. Landed. Took an Uber to the hotel. Mike and Kyle caught me up on some of the showcase stuff that I missed. And then we started Summer Game Fest, which was really, really cool. It was essentially this like lot of smaller buildings where they had different things set up. So there was like a Bandai Namco room. There was a Capcom room. There was, and some of the places I didn't quite know how off limits they were. Like there was a media area that was this whole cafe. They had breakfast, lunch all the time. There was always something to grab and eat. There were drinks. I didn't get any drinks this weekend. Not from the venue or anything. But they had breakfast every morning, bacon, eggs, bagels. It was great. But it was funny watching like some of the like developers or like non-press people go to enter the media area because security's like, hey, sorry, media only. I'm like, that feels weird. Like I get it, but like we're not doing anything in here. We're not like, it doesn't seem like there's a reason to really hold them off, but like I guess they're separated for a reason. I don't know if there was like a developer space at all, but it was an interesting like case for like a first SGF being like, I'm in a spot that someone else isn't allowed into. But that was cool. We got to hang out a lot in there. A lot of time it was me, the 6-1 guys, and the Trophy Room podcast team just chilling. We roamed around. There was the media area. Up the alley was the actual like convention spot where most of the game developers were. Off the shoot of that was Sega, which I didn't even go in the Sega spot. I didn't go in the Bandai Namco spot. Off around the far outside was like a cafe, and right next to that was another strip of like developers. There was Amazon Games was there with King of Meat, and then there was Annapurna, which I was upset I wasn't able to get any appointments with, but I was able to go into the room and hang out. they had my favorite setup. It was really cool. They had this very like 90s inspired like living room space where they had a bunch of flat screens.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, I think I put a poster in my carousel on Instagram. But they had flat screens, maybe like 32-inch TVs, but they all had like classic boob tube like containers around them. So they had like the dials and stuff. They didn't do anything. They were just an aesthetic thing. But they had like 6 TVs set up. They had a bunch of old like cabinets right inside while people were waiting for appointments. They just had a small itty bitty like CRT playing like VHSs, and they had Die Hard playing, just like chilling. I'm like, it was a really cool spot. I like of aesthetically everything around. Annapurna like killed it. I felt they introduced me to the person who designed everything, and I forget her name, so apologies, but she fucking nailed it. Like everything was great. They had 4 games running in there, which I only got to play 1, but I got to spectate the others. They all look super dope.
Okay.
But yeah, basically the weekend was drive out there, go to appointments, roam around, talk to friends, meet other people, go home, do it again the next day. It was pretty fun. I liked it a lot because it was super chill compared to like a PAX. PAX is very like, because you can buy a ticket to go to PAX and attend, like it is very cluttered and full, especially on like Fridays and Saturdays. But this is, though it was full, it wasn't like cluttered. I wasn't bumping into people every time I tried to walk. Excuse me, can I slip by? Which I thought was like super relaxing to a degree. I was still roaming around a lot to get from appointment to appointment, but like, I wasn't impeded by hordes of people. And I'm like, oh man, this feels nice. This feels really nice.
That's like the biggest thing keeping me away from convention. Just the amount of people that are there.
Yeah, it's so much. And like, because it's an invite only event, right? It wasn't like PAX where I got to like see like, Jacob McCord and the Fun and Games guys or those small games girls. But like, it was really, of the people I knew, it was me, 6-1 Indie, Trophy Room, Brendan Groom, and a couple of the Pass Controller guys were there. And then after that, it was like people I had no right to be in the same room as. Like it was a wild time. We have a section. I'm going to jump around a smidge here because you had put in like, who did you meet? There was a lot of, oh my God, this person is here all weekend. When I rolled in, the first person I saw was Greg Miller from Kinda Funny. Dreamed to talk to this man. Would have loved to have a conversation. But he immediately starts talking to Mike from 6-1, talking about, they're publishing games now, and that's really cool. A couple other people like, Greg, good to see you. Ran to Jill Grote, and she's talking to Greg real quick. And I'm just like, how do I say hi? How do I say hi? What do I do? What do I go? Hi, Greg, I'm Danny. It's nice to meet you. Like, I didn't know what to do or say. So I was like, let me just hang out. So I was like, all right, this is the moment. I went up to Mike and like put my arm on his shoulder. I'm like, hey, buddy, before we do our thing. And Greg's like, cool, I got an appointment. And then from that moment, I walked by Greg like 40 times that day. Every single time he's at the fucking appointment over and over again. I'm like, motherfucker, I want to talk to Greg. I want to say hi to Greg and introduce myself to Greg. And I just did not have a nice chance. And any nice chance I did, I cowered out. So that was rough. But I was within 3 feet of Greg Miller. And that's the closest I've been. And next time, we take another step closer. We try.
Next year.
But it's wild to say that because Greg Miller's Greg Miller. Who I did get to speak to was Tim Schafer from Double Fine and Day of the Devs. That was a very cool and very awkward conversation for a moment. Colin and I got to walk up to him and be like, Tim, Mike, I think it's Kyle. I might have said Mike. Kyle's the one who spoke. Kyle was like, hey, Tim, a big fan. A lot of what we do is inspired by the way you choose to carry Day of the Devs. I introduced myself. I'm like, love the indie games, et cetera, et cetera. Day of the Devs, such a great deal. And then there was this lull where we're like, well, hey, I'm gonna go play some more games. Like, yeah, absolutely, Tim, do your thing. And then he went off to talk to someone else. Like, he didn't go play games. He just didn't know how to carry the conversation. I'm like, that's fair. That's fine. We didn't really leave room for the conversation to continue. But yeah, that was dope. After that, it was mostly a lot of me like noticing people and wanting to like say hey, and like not really knowing how to do so. So like a lot of Funhouse and like the Smosh Games, which no longer Smosh Games, but like, Lasercorn, that whole group was there. Joven, James and Elise Willems, Lawrence Sontag was there. Very cool to just see them like roaming, because it wasn't like you go to a PAX, you see these people and they're like surrounded by like a team and like whatever. They're just there. They're just hanging out. I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. Like, again, can't speak to these people. the second biggest fumble I had all weekend is fucking Shuhei Yoshida from the indie team formerly of the indie team at PlayStation was sitting next to me like all fucking weekend, was in the same hotel, and I just could not muster the strength to say hello. I was so intimidated by this man for no reason. I saw the people going like, "Shoot, can I get a picture?" And he's like, "Absolutely." I'm like, "Oh, I could just do that. I could do that," but I couldn't. I walked by him. My hand went up to be like, "Shoo, I love what you've done with indies at PlayStation. Like, keep up the good work," and then move on. My hand went up, and within like a foot, I just froze. I'm like, "I can't do this. I'm gonna walk away." So it was wild just seeing a lot of people that like I wanted to talk to, and I'm like, next time, next year, I swear, next year will be I promise, I'll talk to you, Shoo. I swear. Other than that, it was a lot of people like on a bigger level than I, but still I'd like the TikTok creator level. I got to meet the Co-op 64 guys. They were super dope. Anyone who's unfamiliar on TikTok, they do the say something when you find a game that's better than blank, right? And they sit there silently at the table, like pick something better than Elden Ring, and they're like, They do they do their own podcast. They're great. I also got to meet Jacob Stevens. He does a lot of video game news. That was a fun interaction. We ran into each other, and we're like, I know you, right? He's like, yeah, but like TikTok, right? We're like, yes, okay, yeah, Jacob guy. He's like, you talk indie games like that? Yes, that's me. And we like bounce back and forth. Like, sorry, it's the thing of like you're different on a phone as opposed to in person. I'm like, I know your face, but I couldn't, put it together. We showed each other tags. Like, yes, okay, I remember the username now, et cetera, et cetera. So, outside of the people in my immediate circle, he was the one I probably spoke to in like the longest like one-on-one conversation. Very chill dude. Like the energy he gives on his videos, same guy I got to meet, super chill dude. Excited to see what coverage he has for SGF. Very fun to meet him, and then spent most of the weekend hanging out with Light and Joe from the Trophy Room podcast. Super great people. Again, I know of their podcast because I'm friends with Kyle from 6-1. PlayStation podcast, they talk all things PlayStation. Light, super sweet. I probably had a lot of conversation with her. There was one time we just sat talking about like how she started content creation, I started content creation, some of the hurdles she goes through, I go through, etc. Like super sweet. Had so much fun because we talked a little bit at PAX around the panel together, but didn't spend a lot of time talking like one-on-one. It was a lot of group stuff. But there was a point we hung out in the media room for like an hour and a half, just shooting the shit. She was super sweet. Damn. So loved doing that. And then hung out with Joe on his last night. We talked, we went out for Mexican food, had conversations about running podcasts, etc. So great people. I met some dope dudes dope people here at SGF, and it was a good time. I had fun.
I can imagine. And like this and PAX,
yeah,
you've been meeting so many great people.
Oh my god, my social battery's fucking done for the year, and I ain't done yet.
I can imagine. But the cool thing is, because obviously earlier this week was your birthday.
Yeah.
While you were at SGF. So happy birthday to you.
Thank
but it
you.
Was so cool. This is a side tangent, I know, but it was so cool to see all of these people celebrate your birthday.
Yeah.
Giving you shout outs on social media and stuff. I was like, hell yeah. Give him some love.
It was really nice, right? Because for the hotel we're staying in, Kyle had left Sunday night. Mike left Monday morning. My birthday was on Monday. I completely forgot. Like, I knew going into SGF that my birthday was that weekend, and by Monday I was so tired I just didn't even like register. So Mike got up, caught his flight. We're like, hey man, thanks. Take care of yourself. I'll see you soon, etc., etc. I went back to bed, got up, took my Uber to the venue. But when I woke up the second time, I had like, why do I have so many notifications? And it was like, happy birthday. I'm like, oh, right. Today's my birthday. I forgot. Big 3-0, baby. We're old.
Listen to him. Jesus.
Listen.
My sweet baby boy.
The flight has officially showed me that it's the knees. They're going. I could feel the knee. It's sitting in the window seat. I can feel the knees, man.
That's what happened, and it happens in your 30s.
But it was really nice that like Jenny Wyndham had put out a post, and I had messaged her, and I know Jenny's busy, so there's the like she'll send a message, you respond, and we're like, will she ever see it? Who knows? But I'd send her like a paragraph. I'm like, hey, like thank you so much. It's weird, right? Because this time last year, I was meeting you at PAX, well, months apart, but you get the point. I was meeting you at PAX as like, oh my God, it's the Wholesome Games girl, Jenny. Like, I get to meet Jenny, which is crazy. Where like, she meets me and goes, oh my God, it's CGDannyB. And I was like, you don't get to be excited for me. It's the other way around, right? And it was like a very like interesting interaction where I was like, I expected to be the fanboy there. We both had those moments. And like, I could say Jenny Wyndham is a friend now, which is so bizarre. And I love that. That's so much fun. And then knowing that she posted like, hey, happy birthday to Danny. I'm like, holy fuck, right? On with the course, you made a post. My buddy Chris made a post of an embarrassing video of me at a wedding, which I'm like, man, my dance moves were bad, but I got that dance down. It's gonna be better next time. I'm a thinner Danny now. That dance is gonna hit different. Courtney Yikes from Boss Rush had made a post. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone. I got a lot of DMs. Sorry for anybody who on Facebook who said happy birthday, because I'll be real with you, I did not remark to those. I need to just do a hey, thanks everyone. But Facebook, man, all the people that don't talk to me on a regular that say happy birthday.
That's what Facebook's all about.
Exactly. Just opening.
You never hear from these people, and then once a year, everyone's like, "Oh, happy birthday, man!
Happy birthday! Hey, so I started this thing. It's a pyramid scheme, right? I was wondering if you'd be interested." No, dude, I'm good. Thanks. But yeah, let me. So what do we do at SGF?
You met a lot of people, but you also played a ton of games, I guess.
I did. Something interesting that I'm learning with SGF, right? So, before I get into the games themselves, I got invited fairly late, comparatively. I'm not sure when everyone got their invites, but like I said, I got mine on the way to PAX. So by the time I would like send my email, I'm like, yes, I'm coming, figuring out, lodging and everything else. A lot of appointment opportunities that already been like, they'd been out and they were filling up. So like there were a lot of places like the Pop Agenda booth. I barely got in to play some of their games. Like some I squeaked in just because they had like a small opening, which was great. But like there were a lot of moments where like I was roaming around because I didn't have an appointment for a couple hours, and SGF's not a PAX where you can just hop in line and get your chance to play. It is very appointment based. So going in late and not having the chance to do a lot of appointments was a lot of, oh man, what do I do now? What do I do for these next couple hours? And sometimes like I at one point I got to swing over by the Magic booth and play a little bit of Magic Arena to fill a gap of time. And it was very cool. Next year, I'm hoping I get the invite a little bit sooner so I can really lock down some big ass shit. Cause I was a little upset I didn't get to do a lot of Annapurna, a Pop Agenda, and Devolver, which like the Devolver one, which I sat there watching people play Possessors all week. I'm like, fuck, I want that one so bad. And I didn't get Possessors, but the demo's downloaded. I'm going to check it out. I just haven't done it yet. Okay. But yeah, SGF, very big appointment type deal. Like you need appointments for a lot of things. So be ready to either do nothing or do a lot. And bring your laptop to work on shit, because I didn't. I was like, I won't need it. Yeah, there were a lot of time like, fuck, I could do all this on my phone now. I hate this. But yes, I did get to play a lot of games. I guess I'll just kind of go down what I got to play. The first game I got to check out was called Bandit Trap, which was super dope. Let me, I didn't stop to pull up trailers here, so I'm going to do this as I ramble. This was a PM Studios game. I got a couple appointments with them. Essentially what Bandit Trap is, it is an asymmetrical Home Alone, where it is...
Oh, right, that's that one.
Yeah, 1v3. You either play as the Trapper, who is... You get 2 minutes to start. You set up... you're like a robot. You can go to different parts of the house. You put giant boxing gloves or laser beams or bombs into different furniture. It's called Securniture. And you set it up so when the bandits come in, their goal is to run around the house and find a bunch of treasure. If they find all 10 jewels, they win. If as the Trapper, you do... It kept saying the equivalent of like the team's health. I'm not entirely sure if that's just like the total is like 300 health. If you do 300 damage, you win. Is how I'm to understand it. The time I got to play as a bandit, we got throttled. So I'm like, I did terrible. I have no idea. But playing as a Trap was really fun. It is this very Fall Guys styled game, visually. I love the art style. The game is super fun. We talked a little bit about like the evolution of like how the game's going to work. They talked about some of the items you unlock as you progress. I was asking about like the balance of the game, where like So if I start the game, right, and then I have a friend join like 10 weeks later and I've unlocked all this different equipment and different items and the ability to combine items and they haven't, how does it balance out? And you're like, it wasn't really work that way. Like there's some things like combining stuff you unlock as you play, but like you'll start with like the same level of like items, right? I'm like, okay, cool, that works. And then we talked a little bit more about some of the mechanics, like the traps will put the bandits into like a certain state where like the hammer, right? If it smashes someone, you're like flattened until you find like a med kit to like fix yourself, or it might be a time thing. I wasn't entirely sure. But if you're flattened, you can slide under doors. And as the trapper, you can like put a lock on a door. And the only way to get through is to take tools. And like, there's like little mini game QTE events where you have to like undo the lock so you can escape, but it slows you down as the trapper's setting up more traps. So it is a lot of back and forth. I had a blast with it. One of the big things I talked to the developer, I'm like, multiplayer games are so volatile with indies where like, if you don't have the audience, like how do you survive? I was like, is that something you guys are concerned with? They're like, of course, all the time, like you need people to play your game to stay alive. We didn't really talk price point. The game's not scheduled for next year. So like, I could see this being a great free to play type deal. I don't think that's what it's going to be. That was not a conversation that we had. But like if this launches on Game Pass, PS Plus type deal on day one, like I think this could be like a sleeper hit. Like this one. Now I have a sleeper hit for the show. I'm going to tell you about that then. But yeah, Bandit Trap was very cool. Like I want more people to know about this one. I think this one just got announced during the showcase, but I don't know whose showcase it was at because I'm so far behind on all of them. Yeah, Bandit Trap was super, super dope.
Yeah. Is it going to be a purely multiplayer experience or is it going to be a campaign? Or?
As far as I know, there's no like campaign or story or anything. If there will be one, maybe something writing later, but it is like a PvP kind of experience. So for someone who does like Dead by Daylight type deal, right? Like it is that cycle. If you get on, there's a battle pass, or they had a name for it, but I forget what it was called exactly. But yeah, you get more cosmetics and stuff. They talked about the dream of having like big crossovers that'll keep the game alive, right? And I'm like, I think it'd be super dope if you guys got like the Home Alone crossover, like the thing this is based on, right? And having for the Bandit, having skins for Marv and other dude that robs the house in Home Alone. I forget their names. It's been a while since I watched Home Alone. Or I'm like, if you could do a Home Alone level, right? Like rebuild the McAllister house would be so cool. So far there were 3 levels. We got one was like a beachside one was like a really big villa, one was like an average townhome. Like I'd love to see what other levels they bring. But yeah, dude, Bandit Trap's pretty fun. First game I got to play, I had a blast. I got to play with the 3 developers who were sitting there. It was early enough that it was like quiet, so it wasn't like people were bumping in. But as I was playing, getting loud and everything, other people were like, "Oh, look at this one." So I may have brought some attention over there. So it was cool.
You're a trendsetter.
I kind of do that sometimes. The next game I got to play was
I'm really jealous about this one.
Was Outer Loop, was Dosa Divas. Boy, Tofr, man, this is cool. I told Eka, the developer, so Dosa Divas is from Outer Loop, Outer Loops who made Thirsty Suitors. And this is Thirsty Suitors meets Sea of Stars in a lot of ways.
Wow. Okay.
It's really cool. It still has the turn-based combat you got from Thirsty Suitors, but it plays differently. Again, like in more Sea of Stars, you have your 3 characters. You pick who's going to attack next. You have your little Paper Mario-esque mini games, right? Of like, if I hit the right timing, I do more damage and I get to hit again and again and again. The one character it's called Wakarang, which is just the Moonerang from Sea of Stars, right? Where you throw it and you parry, and each time it does more damage.
Okay.
But it also has like the lock and damage mechanic, right? So like in Sea of Stars where you're like, oh, if I do moon damage, it's going to break this lock. In here, you pick up food as you roam around, which is for a cookie mini game, which is completely separate. But there's like 5 different flavors. There's savory, salty, sweet. I think sour is one of them. Like there's a bunch of different stuff. And your attacks have those different like flavor palettes to them. So you run to an enemy who's like, oh, they're weak to sour. So you want to hit them with a sour attack. And if you hit them hard enough, they'll be stunned, right? And staggered. And then after you complete combat, you'll level up. Some people might drop more food. So you can build, I think Dosas is the food, which is, I'm not informed enough to know what the dish is exactly. But once you're out of battle, you have like the cooking mini games, just like you would in Thirsty Suitors, right? You go home and you'll cook with mom or dad. Very similar to that. There's the quick time event type mini games. And then you can distribute those food to people in town, right? Like, I could really use something spicy and salty with a little bit of mango in there. And then you grab the ingredients, throw them together, send it out. It's fun. Like, I enjoyed everything I got to play this. This was one where I did not get an appointment. Kyle from 6-1 got an appointment. I was watching him play. I was kind of asking over his shoulder where Eka was like, hey, we brought a Steam Deck if you want to check it out. I'm like, please, that'd be great. So I sat next to Kyle. I got to play it on the Steam Deck. I didn't get so much of like a hands-on, or I got hands-on. I didn't get like a sit with the developer and talk through it like, you know, most people with an appointment had the chance to do. Another fun thing is Kyle finished his appointment just in time for Mike to come over, and I haven't seen it myself yet. I've seen a screenshot, but on Easy Allies they did like a Summer Game Fest hype video, and Mike and I are in that video playing Dosa Divas. So you can see CGDannyB and Mike Townsend over there in that video on Easy Allies. So kind of a big deal. But yeah, I told, as I wrapped up my demo, I was like, hey, me and my podcast partner Tofr, we love Thirsty Suitors. And I can't wait to tell them all about this one. Yeah, I think as much as you like Thirsty Suitors, I think this is another one that's right in the same alley, same vibe, same visual style. As far as I know, no skateboarding or anything in this one. But the combat and the cooking is very similar, and yeah, it's fun. It's fun to see how similar and how different it is from Thirsty Suitors, and I want more.
I'm really curious about the differences mostly because it looks as vibrant as Thirsty Suitors.
Yep, absolutely.
And with the turn-based combat being there as well, I'm just I can't wait to play this one.
Dude, it's
why is it 2026 then?
Because I guess they need time to make games or something. They can't just pop them out. It's kind of dumb, honestly. I don't know why you can just put the game out, but I guess whatever. But yeah, super dope. I'm really glad I got my hands on that one. Like I said, I sat there. There were these two booths right next to each other. Actually, to be honest, there were three booths right next to each other. Oh my God, was it just stressful all weekend to be like, can I play any of these games? No, I just don't have an appointment and there's no room for it. Pedal Runners was there, I didn't get to play. Escape Academy 2 was there that I didn't get to play. And I love Escape Academy. Possessors, Blighted, the new drink box game, I didn't get to play. And I kept looking at this whole row. I'm like, motherfuckers, someone let me sit down. I want to play your Sword of the Sea was there, the new giant squid game. I was like, motherfuckers, God, Jeff, email me right now for next year, please. I need to get these appointments in the books. I need to play these games.
Listen, you got in this year, so yeah. I mean, you're in that network now.
That's the plan. We're hoping and dreaming that Jeff's just like, Danny, come on out, hang out. Speaking of people, I double back. People I met but didn't really meet. I ran into Jeff twice over the weekend. And by ran into, I mean, I walked by where he was having heated's the wrong word. He was trying to figure something out, and him and an assistant or somebody who was working with him were discussing something and scheduling wise. I'm like, bad time. Won't talk to him right now. Later, I found him talking to, who was it? I think it was Phil Spencer. No Kojima there. I did not see Kojima. If he was anywhere, he was hiding somewhere. He did have a Death Stranding event off campus, but I wasn't invited to that one, so I didn't get to go. Okay. But I want to say he was talking to Phil Spencer, where I was just like, that's too much power. I cannot come over here. Like, I just walked right past, like, but let me tell you, Phil Spencer, if you're listening, brother, you are looking great. He's lost so much weight. I watched him for the Xbox show. That man has slimmed up. Uncle Phil's looking great. Go Phil. Uncle Phil, man.
No, there's only one Uncle Phil.
That is correct. But Phil Spencer, who would be a very cool uncle and can inherently be a secondary Uncle Phil. Very chill guy. One of the moments to speak with him, but, you know, life is busy. But yeah,
I mean,
Jeff.
With everything going on, I can imagine you not finding time to, like, speak to everyone.
Yeah,
I mean,
or anyone.
You only had like 3 days there.
Yeah, and I think if it becomes a better, like, another moment, right, where I was like, I can't talk to those people. Neil Druckmann, the director of Last of Us 1 and 2 and Uncharted 4, and Mark Cerny, whose official title I'm not familiar with at the moment at PlayStation, but he's the one who did all the fun, like, here's the PlayStation 5, here's how the controllers work, here's the headphones, we're going to scan your ear and blah, blah, blah. Like, they're talking to each other. I'm like, that's too much power in one corner. What the fuck? How do I? What do I? When do I? I can't. And like all I wanted to do was be like, Neil, buddy, I don't care what anybody says. Last of Us 2 was a masterpiece. Anyone who's hated it, they just didn't get it. They didn't understand. I understood. But literally saw him for like 3 seconds and then gone. I didn't see Neil the rest of the week. I don't know if he swung by or whatever, but yeah, I walked by Neil Druckmann. I was in the presence of Neil Druckmann. So maybe he'll be like, I saw this kid with a beanie. I remember him, you know? But yeah, I'm sure I'll all the time like, oh yeah, this happened too. Anyway, speaking of other games we played, I got to play Chroma Gun 2. I will say this was a strange moment where it was my first appointment that got interrupted by another creator. I won't name drop, but I know them. I've watched their content a lot. But I guess their appointment
Greg Miller, goddammit.
Listen, if it was Greg, I would call his ass out. It was not Greg. But it was the person who sat down before me. I guess they didn't realize it was a 30-minute appointment. So I showed up at noon for my appointment. I'm sitting there looking, and I felt bad because I felt like they kept looking at me to be like, hey, like, why are you watching us? And I was like, hey, you're in my spot. Like, I didn't know what to do. So I started roaming around a little bit. I came back at like 12:29 as they finished. I'm like, hey, so that was my slot. Like, could we just reschedule another one? Like, I'm so sorry. Yeah, come over here. So booked it for 2 hours later, came back. At this point in the day, I could tell the developer, you could feel the weight on their shoulders of like, man, people suck at puzzle games. But Chroma Gun 2, really, really cool. If you like Portal, if you like games like Cubed, it's very similar to that. You get like a portal gun, but the whole thing is you are shooting the primary colors, yellow, red, and blue. And there's these different panels that either have no colors or pre-established colors, and you are using color theory to mix with them, right? So if there's a red orb floating around, you make a panel red, it'll attract the red orb. So you might want to put 3 red spots on the wall so it kind of pulls left, right, and back, so it kind of lines up and puts it where it needs to go. Sometimes the drones will get like mad at you and be like, hey, why'd you paint me? And like chase after you. So you have to lure them in a way, but then you catch them with a stream of energy so they can't move any further. And it's a lot of puzzle solving like that. There were a good chunk of like, they were like, hey, if you need anything, let me know, ask. And there are a few, I'm like, did I botch this puzzle? I can't get through. Like, no, if you just do this, you've already done it. You just have to hit one button. I'm like, oh, because then he's going to, got it. Okay. So there were a few of those, but there were moments where they're like, hey, real quick, just because I've seen other people all weekend, hit that and step backwards because this is going to happen. We understand it's really hard to read. So just to save you the 15 minutes I've seen other people, I'm like, cool, appreciate it. In any other, circumstance, I'd be like, yes, I could figure this out at home for sure. But at a con where you have like the developer watching you solve puzzles, it's nerve wracking. I'm like, I promise I'm smart. I'm a little smart. I just not right now. Not with an audience. Very cool game. Talked about this one during the accessibility showcase where they have for people who are colorblind, they have like visual symbols, which are really cool. So like, I don't have any off the top of my head, but like say red's a circle, blue's a line, and yellow's like a square or something, right? But when you go to mix the colors, right, if you put blue and red together, which is a circle and a line, it makes a circle with a line, so you know it's purple. And like if you pause, there's a key in the game. Because I guess as someone who went to art school, color theory, not the most common thing for people. Nope. Like not everyone just knows red and blue makes purple, or like yellow and blue makes green. Like people don't know that. So if you pause the game and open it, you could just see like what, colors make what. And I was like, interesting. That's just a fact. I just know those things, which I was like, privilege. Y'all made fun of the art degree. Fuck you. No, Chroma Gun's really fun. It was like a 30-minute demo. I got through it. A little challenging at points, but like nothing I don't think I would have figured out like with the time and fucking around with different things. So yeah, really, really enjoyed that one. I see 6-1 and put that in the vlog.
Does it feature like a story as well, or is it basically just
if there's a story, it didn't really appear in the demo. Like there were moments where like the voice is talking over you, very like GLaDOS, like welcome to the room of the we kind of started in a section of the map, so I don't know that there's a story that comes with it. I have not played the first Chroma Gun. That might do that, and I'm not super familiar. But it seemed mostly the puzzles is really where you're at. But yeah. Excuse me, I'm gonna sprite it up here real quick.
Go for it. It looks really cool, and I think if it even manages to like reach half of Portal's level, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. I like these first-person puzzle games. I'm excited to see more of it. I'm hoping to bum a key off them whenever it comes out. It'll be a cool one.
All right.
Let me see here. I got my timestamp in there. Next up was I had a block over at the Megabit booth, which was very cool. I got to play 3 of their demos. Sorry, the trailer's loading for the first one. This one was really fun because I went to sit down. The one developer recognized me. She's like, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, oh, I mean, TikTok. She's like, no, like, have we worked on something together before? I'm like, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I was like, I did do like a Steam sponsored stream for, I guess I should mention, the first game I got to play was Pathfinder Abomination Vaults. So then when I mentioned I did a sponsored stream for Pathfinder Galaspire Survivors, she was like, yes, that's where I know you from. Now I recognize it.
Wow.
I was like, oh, cool, great. So I didn't realize, once I was like Pathfinder, I should just assume they were connected to some degree, but I didn't want to assume every Pathfinder game came from the same team. But their new game, Abomination Vault, is essentially Diablo mixed with Baldur's Gate in the Pathfinder universe. I'd say like the reason I say Baldur's Gate is because you are playing as like Pathfinder's Karlachs and Asterians and like these characters. I don't know them personally. I've never played Pathfinder, the TTRPG, or like know much about Pathfinder. But the characters you're playing as are these famous entities within this world, right? Like your barbarian, your Karlach is in this game. Your Asterian, or I guess more your Gale, the wizard, is in this game type deal. So, but yeah, if you've played Diablo, it's very much like that. One of the cool things they were explaining is that there's 4 characters. If you jump in with 4 friends, you each play a different character. There's a cleric, a barbarian, a rogue, and a sorcerer. I don't know if the classes are the same across the 2 games, but each one comes with like a different kit. So like the wizard has, you know, his moveset, the barbarian has their moveset, but they are customizable. So there's like 3 different formats. There's like the back line, the front line, and like the healer kind of builds. So you can not just play, oh, my wizard does this one thing or whatever, but you can switch it up and play. I only got to play with the one loadout. I played the wizard. I really liked him. Another thing is everyone has like an area of effect attack, which can be combined with somebody else's like projectile. So like I was able to put up like a wall of fire, and someone was able to shoot like acid. So they would shoot like flaming acid, like flamethrower, if they went through my attack and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is really cool.
Damn.
Diablo, not really my cup of tea. That gameplay style, like really not my niche. So I wasn't loving it. I don't love Diablo, but I had a great time playing Pathfinder. One that I don't see myself going like, yes, me and the boys have to play this one. That being said, if Megabit's like, hey, we have 4 keys, do you want to check this game out? I'd be like, hey guys, I got keys. Do we want to do a stream of it? I think we'll have a good time. Yeah, it's fun. We were talking a little bit about like how the story's going to work. Some of these levels are going to be hours long, where I think it's either like 12 to 15 levels is the goal. Still in development, so things could change. But like, yeah, I really enjoyed it. There's like a mini game not even mini games, but like, if you're watching the video version, there's these giant mushrooms, right? Which you have to like activate to progress in the level, but you don't just walk up and hit a button. There's like, here's 2 spots, almost in a like a split fiction, like It Takes Two kind of way of like, hey, you both have to go and activate a trigger at the same time to make it happen. So they'll have like 2 glowing circles. You run up, hold, the thing will happen. And then you move to the next area, right? You're fighting mini bosses. Sometimes they'll spawn more enemies and things like that. Everything I got to play from the one level was really fun. It ends with like a giant spider jumps in. They're like, yeah, that's the next part of another level, but that's not where the demo goes. So you'll see it. The developer was super enthusiastic about it. Again, as someone who like doesn't do Pathfinder, I was very interested in Pathfinder leaving this demo. Had a great time. I think people are going to dig this one for the Diablo heads out there looking for another itch.
Listen, if they need another sponsored stream, they know where to find.
Absolutely. Let me know, baby. What are we doing? While I was at Megabit, I had 2 other demos. The second one I got to play was Omut. Omut. I don't know how you pronounce the name.
I'd say Omut, but
Omut. We'll rock with Omut.
I think so.
I got to play this one for like 2 minutes because of the time we took. So I had 3 games to play in like an hour. So really it was like like 28 minutes, 20. No, that's even a terrible split. Either way, I got to play 2 demos very long and this one for a couple seconds. But I guess this game, very challenging, very Cuphead-esque, where you like go through rooms and like beat bosses. The whole goal is to beat the bosses.
Okay.
They told me like no one's beaten the first boss yet. It's a challenge game. Like, let me give it a shot. The first round, I get the gun. I've yet to do combat. And there's this farting poop ball type enemy that's like sitting in the air. And the whole goal is to not let him touch the ground. So as he's bouncing around, like shitting down on you and everything, you're just like shooting him. And each time he kind of bounces higher to keep him off the ground. And I was throwing hands, dog. I was blasting this dude in the back of the head. And the developer, she looks at me. She's like, no one, I lost. She's like, no one's done that well on their first try. I was like, yeah? Oh, now you gassed me up. Now I got to get this. As I walked over, the guy who finished it before me, I watched his screen. It was like, you've died 126 times. I was like, Jesus. Okay.
And that small amount of time.
Yeah. So in like maybe like 30 minutes, right? So I'm like, fuck, I got to get this. So as I sat down to do my demo, I was clobbering this guy. Then I started getting like reckless. I'm like, no, I'm losing. In like 2-ish minutes, I think I died about 25 times. It's the very Celeste of like, you died, boom, go again. You died, boom, go again. He touched the ground, you're dead, go again. Like it's a snap back and run it back. This is gonna be fucking fun. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind dying to these bitches over and over again, just like I did for Cuphead the first time. But I was getting to only play those couple minutes. I was like, fuck, I want to play more of this. And like the next game, I was lucky. I'm like, thankfully it's a new demo, because it was the same demo we played at a previous Next Fest. I'm like, can I just stay and play this one instead, just in case? This game's sick. I think the demo for this one, Omut, is currently on Steam, and there's already like 9 bosses you can play. Like,
oh wow!
If you want a challenge, play this fucking game. It's really cool. Yeah. This was a like, I heard the name passed around but hadn't touched it. This fucks. This game's awesome. Okay. I can't wait for more.
This looks like it might be a great stream game.
Yeah, I think so. If I could do like I would say do a death counter, but there's a death counter in the game, so I wouldn't need it. But like, I didn't expect to sit down and play the short amount of time and fall as much of like, I need to go play this demo like ASAP. Like I wishlisted on the couch before I moved to my next demo. This game's really fucking awesome. The visual style, there's a story too, which I didn't really get to absorb a lot of in the little demo I got, but just getting to fight the boss a handful of times and like get close, but not really win it. But like knowing I totally can, if I did like 5 more runs, I absolutely would have fucking beaten him. And like, probably not, but think I would have, you know, but man, such a cool game, man. It's really cool. I want more.
I can imagine, but there's no release date yet, right?
I don't believe so. No, I think still just coming soon. And I'm pulling up the trailer for that next game because I timestamped already. I got to play more Lose Lagoon, which this is what they emailed me about, and I was just like, "Hey, I'm interested because I'm very excited for Lose Lagoon." But I need to know, is this the same Next Fest demo? Because I'm just playing the intro again. Like, I'd rather spend my time on another demo. As like, I've already talked the praise of Lose Lagoon. And they actually just didn't answer me. They said, all right, we got you in the books. I'm like, that didn't answer my question. What are we doing? No. So I sat down. Luckily, it was a brand new demo. I sat down with Bruce. Bruce was the guy who, senior community manager. He's the one who was let me play through Lose Lagoon. Was very much like, what do you know about the game? Like, I played the demo, I've been following, I talked about their social media campaign of like, we have the package, it's traveling around the world. Like, okay, so you've seen it, so you're familiar. It was a very like hands off, like, hey, do your thing, but like, while we're here, if you want, you can go over here and customize stuff. He's like, here's the shop if you want. I'm like, oh, we're buying fucking clothes. I played Dress Up Simulator for like 30 seconds and had my new kit on. We got to do some of the fishing mini games. I met I cannot think of his name, a very Larry the Lobster kind of character, who's one of the pilots who takes you, like, gives you the plane so you can fly around to some of the other islands. We got to do the flying experience and like do some of the mini games that are in the air. I said it last time we talked about it during Next Fest. I'll say it again. One of my most anticipated for this year. I'm loving everything that I've touched. Every time I get to see more of Lose Lagoon, I'm more just like, I'm going to lose myself to the game. There's a point we were wrapping up. He's like, you could do this quick. I'm like, I'm be real with you. I already know I love this game. I'm already going to go home and sing the praise of this game. I want more. I could sit here and play more. I need to do myself the service and not play more than I can have right now. Because if I can't go home and play more, I'm gonna be in a sad spot. I just want more Lose Lagoon. I'm fully gung ho on this. I have been since day one. I still remain to be super excited. The day we get a date for this, I'm ready. Like, this game's awesome. Visual style is awesome. It was fun. He was like, so here's the objective. Here's where you got to go. It's a little bit of puzzle platform. You have to find where you have to go. Good luck. And I was cheesed a little bit. I'm like, oh, so if I just jump here, and go up this way, they're like, okay, not the way you're supposed to go, but you made it work. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I got super cheeky for one of the flying mini games where it's like fly through the rings. And I was like, oh, let me get my boost. I boosted so fast that as I was going around the corner, I saw like a collectible. I'm like, let me grab that. I grabbed the collectible, spun on my side to spin back around, and just missed the ring and just kept flying. I'm like, no, I missed one. I'm like, is it going to teleport back? And like, you're going to have to go back and get it. I'm like, I'll get to the end and swing around. And he's like, you did great time. You just missed the ring. I'm like, fuck, I almost had the record, man. I was killing it. I was doing really good. Yeah, it's just really cute. Again, for anyone who's not familiar with the premise, your Uncle Lou goes missing. He has a delivery service where he flies packages around, the islands and delivers them. And you end up taking over, trying to find out where he's at and meeting his customers and delivering stuff. It's cute. It's fun. It's cozy. You can customize your character, your plane. I'm going to lose hours to this game. I know I will. Can't wait.
Same.
I'm so gung-ho. I want more Lose Lagoon.
This looks like it's going to be one of the cozy games whenever it comes out. If it's this year or next year.
Yeah, I think
it's going to be up there.
I think we said 2026. I think is what they told me.
I can imagine, because I think the Kickstarter only finished in May.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah, I want to say
would make sense.
Somewhere it said 25, and that probably changed at some point, and I'm still locked in that I said for my most anticipated I included it, but I think that changed. It's something in that ballpark. But yeah, super fucking cool. I want more Lose Lagoon. Timestamp. Now, Tofr, this is a section I'm going to call the AAA block, because we like our indies here. That's what we're here for, but I can't go and see a bunch of AAA stuff and not talk about it for Jeff Keighley, or he might not.
Fine.
So give me a second here to pull up the cool trailers for the stuff. Here we go.
Freaking AAAs.
That's what I'm saying. I gotta tell you.
Can't believe this on an indie game.
I know. It's fucking awful. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. Sorry.
Is it gonna be okay?
Probably.
Is it?
It might be. I'm rambling to fucking get some goddamn footage up here because I didn't think to do this ahead of time. I thought my friend did a stream of this third game, and I can't find their stream, and I guess they didn't post it. It's fine. It's okay. It's fine. So the only AAA developer that I got to go to an event for this weekend, I was able to get into, was Capcom.
Nice.
I left this place. I went into this place like, here's two games I'm not super gung-ho about. We'll see. And left with like, fuck, I want to play both of those really bad.
Okay.
The first, they were both hands-off demos. They were basically, the one was a live demo with the creative director, and the second one was just pre-recorded footage. The first game we got to check out was Onimusha, Way of the Sword. I did not grow up with Onimusha. This is not a franchise I'm familiar with. And I'll be honest, with Ghost of Tsushima around the corner, like, that's all I've really cared about for like my samurai game. Nothing else that comes out am I like really remotely interested in. Then they showed me this game, like, motherfuckers, this looks really cool.
They got you.
Yeah, sorry the footage is lagging here for video watchers. We'll get it fixed. Computers. But essentially, I'm gonna have none of the names. I didn't play it. I didn't get to watch like my experience, so I'm gonna forget everybody's name. So someone out there's like, God, his main name is Dude McGee McFace. But it is a very grounded experience compared to something like Ghost of Tsushima, right? That has a lot of verticality with climbing and grappling and things like that. There's still a lot of yokai and crazy monsters and stuff in it, but like, man, some of the sword combo looks so fucking satisfying. Like here in this video, you're watching homie parry fucking giant club attacks, And hearing some of those things in person, like in game, like, oh, wow, that sounds fun. Where like, you'll go up, you'll kill an enemy, and they drop like, I guess, souls or spirits or something to the effect. And you absorb them with like the arm, which I guess is the staple of the franchise. I'm not super familiar. And that can either charge like a special attack. I think it's health, or I think it's like mana or stuff like that. There was like 3 different colors. I think it was red, blue, and like gold or yellow. Very, very dope combat. They did one of the major boss fights, which I think was the one you just saw there in the trailer with the dude with the hat. We got to watch the developer play live. There was a point where I'm not entirely sure what went wrong, but they were playing the demo live. They beat a boss, and we had the guy up front doing like the narration of like, this is what's happening. Get him. You got this. You know, the very like E3 gamer demo, like voiceover deal. And the creative director's just like, we have to do it again. And he's Japanese. So, you know, the very like broken English, like, we have to do it again. We're like, uh-oh, something go wrong. He gets up, moves to another computer, reloads the save, powers through to the spot, and then just does it again. Like, basically the same way, but I'm like, I'm not sure what was wrong, but okay. So, like, we just did it again. We powered through, watched the boss fight. Very cool game. I'm looking forward to picking up Onimusha, I guess, 1 and 2. I think the remasters or remakes are on PS5. They're not inexpensive. I think they're like $30 like each. I'm like, yikes. Okay, well, we'll see. I do want to kind of peep those though, because this comes out 2026. I would like to check out Onimusha now, having seen this, where I'm very excited to see the new one. I'd like to see what the originals are.
When are you gonna play them, Danny?
You know, dog, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. When? There is no answer. There is no when.
No, it does look really cool. It's very cinematic.
Yes. Very cool. But like, visuals are awesome. The cutscenes were dope. A lot of the NPCs look pretty lively. Like, there's a point where you're walking through like a village, a lot of people are sick and coughing, and they did a really good job at like the E3 camera, right? We're using the control stick to like, as you're walking forward, panning, you're like, oh no, look at the people around you type deal. So they kind of killed that. That was good. Nice. But yeah, definitely sold me on more Onimusha, which again was not sold on in the first place, but now I am. Next up, real quick, because again, this just be the AAA block. I got to watch gameplay for Resident Evil Requiem, which I'll be straight up. I was on a flight and did not get to see this reveal. I assume we were playing as the daughter of Ethan from 7 and 8. I do not know for a fact that's who this is. I assume that's who it is. So I wanted this demo without watching the first trailer. So someone might be like, no, Danny, that's crazy. That's not what's happening. One of the first things they hit us, right? They were just like, hey, we're going back to our survival horror roots, baby. And I'm like, okay, interesting. Like, what does that mean for someone who's played? So I played most of the remakes, X4. I've played the first, second, third remakes. I've played 7 and 8. And that's all my Resident Evil experience. So I have an image of what like a modern Resident Evil is. And watching this demo, I was like, I'm not really seeing what makes this different from the other ones I've played. If anything, there was no weapon. Like the demo starts with her like strapped into like a hospital chair upside down. It looks like it's all a cutscene where she like knocks over like something drawing her blood. She takes the glass that she's able to pull it up, cut open the ropes that's holding her up. Like, it's a longer cutscene. And then they show the actual gameplay, which was a lot of dark hallways, a shit ton of dark hallways, Tofr. And I was like, that's kind of scary. Because the entire time I sat there expecting something to jump out and like jump scare me, which eventually does, but it wasn't like as often as I was watching these dark halls. I'm like, someone's gonna fucking get me. I don't want to be here. Something a lot of us noted watching this demo, and I was interested to see how many of us really noticed it. There's a weird thing with the footsteps in this game. Okay. Where you make footstep noises while you're turning, even if you're not walking. So, you know, you're walking here like the click, click, click of your foot on like your feet in the ground. But like, there were multiple times the character would like turn to look down this hallway and turn down, look. And every time she would turn, it was the step, step, step. And a lot of us thought something was running up behind her to like, she's going to get got. We got to get out of there. Get out of there. It was like, oh no, that's just her walking. That's her. Here's the hospital thing I was talking about, her strapped into the bed. This is the demo we got to see. So that was a weird thing. I'm hoping it's just early enough that was just a weird whatever, and that's going to change. But then they showed who I'm guessing is this game's like Mr. X going to follow you around the map type deal, and you're going to have to keep running from them. It was this giant mouse rat lady thing that was all stitched together. God, was she gross. Where we were at, you couldn't fight back. It was a lot of run into the room, hide by the bed, and she just wouldn't walk through the door. I'm like, I guess this is the safe area. She's not going to come in. And then they ended up ending the demo with they're walking through the hallways. They pause. They go into settings, and they're in gameplay. There was the option to toggle on first and third person. So this is the first modern Resident Evil that you can play in both first and third person. It looks like you're gonna be able to do that for the whole game. So however you choose to play it. They didn't show us a lot of third person. It was just the quick like turn on third person. Yes, you can do it. Mm-hmm. It was a little janky. Isn't the word, but it didn't feel natural. This is like when you're watching a game trailer and you're like, it's on VR and not. And you're like, this was made for VR. Like, this was like, this game was made for first person, has a third person mode. Maybe that'll be ironed out closer to release. But I definitely, I would like to play in third person. But this felt like it's a first person game. That being said, very cool. Again, like I've played the Resident Evils because chat's like, are you going to play them? They're fun to watch you be scared. So I'll probably end up playing this one as well. It was a cool experience to get to see it all. As I sit here and be like, I actually don't even know who our main character is. I'm not entirely sure. I assume it's this person, but I couldn't tell you. But yeah, really cool to see this one. Really dug it. One more AAA spot. Sorry, go ahead.
The audience during the Jeff Keighley Fest was really enthusiastic.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that was part of the showcase that cut out for me, so I didn't like see them like react to it. And then I don't know whose video this is. I pulled up. Sorry, I was trying to pull up Chris RV2's and he doesn't have his VOD up. This is just the Magic Arena official Dex is the name. Original Dex is the name of the channel. So I had a lull between a couple appointments and I got to go see Magic Arena. My buddy Baron was like, check out the Magic booth. They might be giving out free stuff. So I went over there. Got to play some Magic Arena for the first time since like the alpha, which this game has changed a lot since then. A lot on the screen was different. It was really cute because the little companions you have, they have Magic Final Fantasy chocobos. So there's like a little Jace and a little Chandra chocobo. Very cute. They're cosmetics you can buy in the game and they're like sit on the side of the screen while you play. I got to play the new Final Fantasy decks with Cloud and Sephiroth. I got to play as Cloud. One of the developers played against me with Sephiroth. I did really good because that developer would be like, make sure you click this. One of the reasons I don't like Magic is because there's a lot of things that happen. And if I get stressed out because the person I'm playing against knows everything they're doing, well, I know nothing I'm doing. So watching these moments of like, oh, I'm clicking the thing. I'm going to do this. And then someone's like, well, you skipped your upkeep or, this move or whatever. And you could have done this, but don't forget to untap and blah, blah, blah. Like that stresses me out, especially in any kind of competitive scene. Magic Arena is like, you click on the thing. Do you want to do the thing? Yes. Click and do the thing. All right. Tap your mana. Do you want to untap? Do you want to do this? When a card is getting ready to activate it, they'll give you the pop-up. You hit yes. That was very much the way I'm like, okay, this is how I think I need to play Magic. This makes the most sense to me. I don't think I'll go gung-ho on Magic Arena. I would like to download it on my phone and computer to have it. Mainly because in our Jeff Keighley gift bags, we did get the starter decks for Cloud and Sephiroth. So I do have them physical. I won't need the cards myself. Probably give them some friends if they don't already have the packs. But they do come with codes for both decks in Magic Arena. So I'll probably redeem these so I have them. I don't plan to buy Magic cards to get more decks and stuff like that. We'll see. But I did really enjoy what I got to play of Magic Arena. Sorry, I thought this footage was going to be like gameplay. It's really just looking at the packs and stuff, but that's okay. But yeah, Magic Arena is fun. I didn't get any fun gifts from them. I only got the one that Jeff gave us in the original gift bag. But yeah, Magic Arena, pretty cool.
Yeah. I'd love to get more time into Magic Arena, but I struggle with like I have barely any knowledge of Magic.
Yeah,
and whenever I try Magic Arena, I get opponents who do know their stuff.
Yep.
And it just sucks. Like the threshold is too high.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't get into it.
And that's a big reason why I stopped playing Magic. Every now and again, friends were like, you want to borrow my deck? I'm like, sure, I'll play a match. And then as we're playing, the longer the game goes on, I'm just like, I hate this. Like the last time we played Magic, I played a Captain America deck. I barely got to use it because every time I'd put a card out, they would destroy it. So, which I know is the name of the game. You don't want to lose and blah, blah, blah. But it was very like, not fun, which I'm like, I know you want to stop someone from doing their thing, but it made me go like, why am I playing? If I don't get to play, why am I even playing? Like, it just was not fun. I don't enjoy Magic at a table, but I don't know. This might be a different move. I might enjoy this more. We shall see.
Listen, if you're up for a match, let me know.
Listen, I gotta be down, play some arena. I got to show you some of my cloud gameplay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Run it, do our thing. But with that, that's our AAA block, which was probably longer than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. You're just talking about back to the indie stuff. This, because I have a few more. Actually, there might be another AAA in here that I actually didn't check, but that's okay. We'll talk about it. 4 more games. We'll power through. Okay. One of my most anticipated appointments, and easily one of my favorite, was Toem 2. They announced it at the Wholesome Snack earlier this year, late last year, one or the other. Toem 2 is more Toem, and that's all it needs to be. I love everything I got to do in Toem. I had a blast playing through. Anyone who's not familiar with Toem, it's an adventure game. I guess isometric is a fine genre description for it. But you roam around, you have a camera, you'll run into people and they're just like, oh man, I've lost my donkey. I don't know where they went. And you go and take a picture of the donkey, bring it back, and like, oh, I see where my donkey is. I'm going to go get him now. The one guy like launches an arrow. Like he's like, ha, if you could find where my arrow is, I'll give you a reward. And you roam around the map and you see a guy in a corner who had like an apple sitting on his head and the arrow's just punctured through it. You're like, found it. You take it back. He's like, good job. Here's a stamp, right? You get enough stamps, you can unlock the next world, or you can stick around, complete this world, and then get all the stamps and move on. I'll be the completionist trying to complete everything as I go. You're seeing a bunch of video watchers. You're seeing a bunch of the B-roll that Pop Agenda set me up with. Most of these things, I believe, are different levels, not the ones that I got to play.
Okay.
But they changed the art style enough where, like, so it's still 2D characters, but it is 3D environments. Which there was a bit of a, I even hesitate to say learning curve because it was still the same game, just 3D items means I'm blocked a little bit more because look at that fucking little gnome guy, he's cute. But yeah, I got to talk to, I think Yost is how you pronounce it, Joost, was one of the composers, Yost. Very chill, very, very fun conversation. They talked about writing the music. They did the music for the first game. Him and another composer were working on the music for the second one. I was wishing this would be on autoplay, so I have to keep hitting skip, but that's fine, I guess. Oh my god, it's Winnie the Pooh. I didn't get to see him. But yeah, there's one level. I don't know why we did that. Not the jar. Sorry, Pooh. Oh, it's James, so it's not Honey. This is cute. Again, this is all stuff that I didn't get to play, so I'm like seeing some things for the first time now. The one level they showed us, right, was it's like one of those Lost Forest from Zelda puzzles where you go through the door and you pick a door. If you went the right way, you continue. If you went the wrong way, you'll start back at the beginning. But the composer mentioned they were working on separate tracks for this, and the way it was going to work is the further you got in the correct path, a new track would kick in, so it would like build on the music as you were going the right way.
Okay.
Yost did their part, and the other composer, sorry, I don't know the name of the other composer, did their part. And before they flew out for the event, they were like, hey, send your stuff. We'll throw it in the demo. We'll see what we can do. So as they set up to prepare the demo, all the things were dropped in. That was the first time Yost got to like see it, like the music put together. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. We're seeing the build. I got to listen to it. It was a little tough because we're on the show floor and I had one headphone on so I could hear the devs and et cetera. But it was really cool because it was like the way I was progressing. I guess there was an answer around the world of like, here's the path you need to take. I didn't find that, but like, we want to get you through it because you're killing it. Left, up, right, up, tell me the directions. We get to it. I finish the puzzle, get my stamp. The only other big standout thing for Toem is, if you remember in the first game, there were like little monsters you could find that were invisible to the world, but if you saw them on camera, I opened my camera and was looking around for some of like the collectibles, and I found this guy who's invisible, just sitting in the middle of the field, and they both go, oh, you're the first person to find him. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a big fucking dude. I know how to play Toem, baby. I know what I'm doing. But the whole thing is he was given an invisibility potion and now just can't be seen by anybody. And he goes, wait, you could see me? Quick, go find the potion maker and bring me a potion. So he gives you the ingredients or the recipe. You go over to the potion guy. You give him, you need like 5 mushrooms to make a recipe. And then they'll give you the potion. You take it back to the person. You give it to them. It'll heal them. So I go to the potion guy, give him everything, come back. You give him the visibility potion. So he's now visible. I get another stamp. And I was very like honored's the wrong word, but it was like, I'm the first person to find this in Toem 2. Like, I'm fucking great, dude. I'm really good. Yeah, it's amazing. Like, again, a highlight for me was my game of the show until I got to play something else, which again, like, that's not to take away from Toem. I just got to play a game I was very excited for. So
Wonder what that was.
wonder what it was. People are about to find out in a minute. Yeah, Toem 2, 2026. Right now the plan is PC and consoles. I'm gonna fucking house this game. Can't wait for more Toem.
Same.
Let me see. This one got a trailer, but I have to pull YouTube back up. Why do that? Tofr, how you feel? How you feel about my SGF ramblings? How's it going? You liking it?
I'm really enjoying it. It's like hearing you talk about games that and also getting to see some new games. I'm still pretty damn jealous that you got to play Dosa Divas.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that one. Toem 2 as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping those get demos soon for the public because those are both really fun.
Yeah, I was hoping that they might feature in Next Fest.
Yeah. No luck.
Nope. But there's plenty of Next Fest demos still to play. So
it's true. We'll talk about them in a moment after I get done with my schmattering here. The next game, I think I timestamped, just in case I didn't. Holy shit. Was this a sleeper hit that people were screaming about all fucking weekend? Like, anytime I was at an appointment anywhere near it, people were screaming, and my appointment was late Sunday, so I didn't get to know the first couple of days, like, why people were so excited. Yeah. Lego Party was fucking awesome. So I had set my appointment. I was supposed to play with, I felt really bad because I saw the people I was supposed to play with and I bailed on them because the trophy room guys, so Kyle, Light, and Joe, they had an appointment 30 minutes before mine. So when I got over there, I was like, hey, any chance I could just play with my friends? I'm supposed to be here 30 minutes. Like, yeah, they don't have a fourth. So come on, let's do it. Essentially, Lego Party is just Mario Party, but Lego. And as someone who enjoys Mario Party, but has not loved Mario Party in quite some, like, the GameCube days, probably the last time I've loved Mario Party. And I partially blame it on Chris, who goes gung-ho on every fucking Mario Party map and knows all the mini games. And I'm like, dog, I like the casualness of it. Playing this with 3 people who have never played Lego Party and get experience for the first time. Oh my God, we had so much fucking fun. 4 of us sitting on a couch, screaming at each other, how we're going to take each other's like Lego bricks, which the same way Mario Party, you go for the stars. There's golden Lego bricks. Whoever's the most Lego bricks wins. It's so fun, dude. It was so much fun. Like, and that's so nondescript. It's just, you're saying the same shit, but like the announcers are there talking about the game. You're roaming around the map. You have a die, which is 1 through 8. But you get power-ups that you can slow down the timer, so you'll be able to really pick which one you want. You can add more big numbers, which will make you have 1, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8. Like, you have a bunch of bigger numbers, so you can move further. You have the items, so you can pay to go steal like stars and coins from people and stuff. Just an absolute blast. We sat there screaming. The fun bit of our game was that, so if you won a game of Lego Party, they had little 3D printed Lego trophies that you got to keep for winning. And nice. Because I played with the Trophy Room podcast, my whole goal was to win so I could be the one to walk away with the trophy. Be like, haha, I get it. And like during the game, I'm excited to see whatever trailer comes out of this, because they had like a little 3D camera, a 360 camera. They were filming our reactions. And I want to see if any of my bullshittery gets into a trailer, because it was so fucking fun. But I remember there was a point where I was just like, oh, by the way, guys, if I win, I get to keep your podcast. The Trophy Room is becoming an Ouya podcast, motherfuckers. Like shit like that. The way the game, I was winning at the end. I literally stopped in front of a golden brick. I needed a 3 and I rolled a 1. If I had rolled the 3, I would have won the game, I think, just based on stars and coins combined. I whiffed it. And then Light from Trophy Room, she ended up getting around to the point where she was able to steal somebody's star. She bought a star. She caught up to me. She had more coins. So she won. And I was like, motherfucker, I had this. I wanted to win. And then we won. We talked about how great the game was. The goal is to have both local and online co-op, multiple maps, whole 9 yards. There's really cool like Lego building stuff on the map where you hit a path. You're like, oh, like this path's empty. Do you want to build this or this? There's different ship. We played on a pirate map, which is very short. You can build 2 different kinds of ships, 2 different kinds of landmarks, like a giant pirate head that gives you like gold and stuff. It looks like the 2 options you get will do the same thing. They'll just aesthetically be different. Fuck. Yeah, man. I wanted to sit down and play another game. Like, I think this is anyone who's kind of burnt out on Mario Party and wants a new experience. Like, this is it. Like, this is feeling like the move, dude. I had such a fun time. Yeah. And again, like I'm so not feeling Mario Party these days. Like I'll play, right? If we're there, I'll play, but it's I think the competitiveness of Mario Party is like disappeared from what it used to be. And I think Lego Party does a great job of rebuilding that competitive nature. And there's just goofy stuff too, right? Like you win and they put you on like the pedestal who got first, second, third, and fourth. But instead of just moving on, just leaves you in a room. And if you want to just run around and sock and bop each other and smack each other for winning and like everyone beat up Danny, he should have won that minigame again. They don't get anything out of it. It's just a fun, goofy moment. Like, and you won't move on until player 1 hits go. So it's, yeah, sleeper hit. I think people are like, this is the trailer people would look at and I think like, oh my God, it's just Mario Party, but Lego. Like, yes, but no. Like this hit. This hit better than it had any right to. Everybody was screaming, having fun all weekend. Any devs around like, what's going on? Lego, crazy. Yeah. Lego Party was awesome.
Nice.
It was great.
I'm also interested, like, usually when Lego the popular things, it has to do with license.
Right.
But there doesn't seem to be any big license.
Yeah, as of right now, no. Everything I've seen. So it was funny. The announcer in the game looks like Ted Lasso, and his name is Ted. I don't know if he is Ted Lasso. I don't believe he is, but he looks like Ted Lasso. So I made the joke like Ted Lasso, huh? But they look like Ted and Rebecca from Ted Lasso. Other than that, everything else has been original. In the trailer, though, they showed like the Lego Ninjago stuff, which I guess is still that's not another IP or whatnot. I find it difficult to see a world where we don't get some of the like copyrighted popular Lego stuff, but like right now everything is like Lego original that I've seen. I haven't seen any of the Star Wars stuff, any of the Marvel stuff, any insert name of popular Lego franchise here. It's all original stuff. Which I think as someone who like got into Lego games with Lego City Undercover, which isn't a Lego original thing. This kind of reminded me of like why Lego is so special. Just because it's so charming and cute and accessible to everybody. Yeah, I like that. I'm sure we will get like a new map that is the Star Wars level, right? And whatever that looks like.
It's going to be paid DLC probably.
Probably. Be cool if it wasn't, but probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, man, really, really shocked at like how much I left this game ready to play more. Like, I think we already talked about doing another stream whenever the game comes out with the trophy room and myself and playing the game again and having a good time, and finally taking the Trophy Room podcast for myself. I want it. It's my podcast.
I could join and we could do a battle of the pod.
Let's do it. We'll kick Joe to the side. We don't need him. You and me versus Light and Kyle.
Yeah.
Put their asses down. Oh, man.
Playlog is the podcast, damn it.
We're ready, baby. Two more to talk about. I'll power through. We got it. The second to last demo I got to play over the weekend is a game called MistFall. This is being advertised. I'm missing the word I need. Vicarious PR is working on this one. A bunch of my friends. Okay. So Sabrina, Luke, Kyle, and Mike all work at Vicarious. So take with that what you will. Important note. I've received nothing for this game, just my appointment. Not what I thought this game was. I thought this was a Souls-like. That was just going to be challenge game, whatever.
Looks like a Souls-like.
Right. And it, depending which class you pick, it does play like one. But it is a PvPvE extraction melee shooter.
Oh, wow.
Where you get to pick a class. So you can build as many classes you want, I think. And there's a seer. There's 2 magic classes, 2 melee classes, and then like a range class that is bow and arrow. I'd asked Sabrina, my staff for my appointment, like which classes people played the least this weekend. She's picked the seer, which is pretty much a cleric. Man, was it tough. It was hard to play as the seer. As the seer. You can run solos, which would be matches of 8, or you can run trios, which I think they said are matches of 15, so 5 teams of 3.
Okay.
And the way it works is you drop it in the map, you fight enemies, you loot their bodies, you take their equipment, you'll find materials, you'll find weapons, you'll find armor. and you'll find enemies. They're also mini bosses. If you find an enemy, you can beat them, take their loot, whatever. If you find a mini boss, you beat them, you'll get cool loot. And if you die, anything you dropped is left in the world. So like if you got cool items and weapons, if you brought some of your favorite stuff with you and you died, like it's gone. What you want to do is get the stuff. There are these little bell creatures, which once you beat them, you get an item, which I was going to make a comparison to Elden Ring, but I don't even know if it's on point. But you get this little bell, you ring it, it opens a portal above you, and you can teleport out, which takes you home. You leave the base. You can go back to your warehouse and drop off equipment. Very much in the vein of like Destiny, where like, oh, I'm a warlock, but I picked up an item for a Titan. You put it in your inventory, you make a Titan class, you can put that armor on your Titan, right? It's like that, where I got a bunch of armor stuff for the mercenary. So I quickly made a mercenary who will probably be my melee class because they have a hammer. I put it in the inventory, I made a mercenary, went in, equipped all that stuff, ran another match, got throttled, died and whatever. But anything I picked up from that guy was dropped. I was shockingly surprised how much I enjoyed this. This is one I would like to see, like, get with a group of 3, you know, me and 2 buddies, and see like how well we do at it. I could see a world where, like, I know my buddy Connor has his rage gamer moments and losing equipment. He loves his roguelikes, but this is not a roguelike. I can see where you lose your progress and start over, right? But you do have materials that you keep at your base and everything. You can upgrade, so you'll have more inventory slots to store stuff when you go out. All the upgrades are not really like proficiency based, like it is a lot of skill, but there are like level upgrades, right? So if I go in and I've leveled up my skills enough that I can outplay other players, I could see there being a mishap in the balance of that. Like someone new joins and you've got dude who's played for 100 hours, like kicking your ass because he's got the full fucking kit. I don't know how that matchmaking is going to go. I hope it has some kind of, I know people like to, you know, grind their teeth at a skill-based matchmaking, but honestly, give me something so I'm playing with people on my level, you know? But regardless, we'll see. But yeah, I had a really good time with this one. Not what I expected. Better. I had a great time. I think it'll be a fun multiplayer one to see people get into once it comes out.
Let's hope it finds an audience.
I hope so. Again, like multiplayer is such a scary deal, right? And there's a playtest not coming up because it's an old trailer, so never mind. I was like, coming up in April. Never mind. Not true. But yeah, a really cool one. Again, my second to last demo, so I'm glad I got a chance to sit down and play it. Sabrina did a great job of like showing me some of the stuff that was going to be like in the game and how to maneuver it and how to operate it. Upgrading your stuff. I think people who I don't really play extraction shooters. I know Tarkov, but I've never touched it, so I don't know what Tarkov is exactly, like what that loop looks like. So this is really my first extraction game to really understand what the gameplay is, and I dig it. I'm totally going to have a match where I lose and get all pissy, like, fuck, I lost my really good sword or my hammer or my blah, blah, blah. But, you know, we run it, baby. We have a good time with it.
Yeah. Now, before we go into your final, your voice has been cut a couple of...
Oh, interesting. Okay, let's see something. Hold on. Anyway, as we were saying, I don't even know if I can timestamp that anymore. Fuck it. Whatever. Tofr, when I got to SGF, I told you there was a booth, an area of games I wanted to play, and I couldn't get there because the appointments were full. And the one game I kept staring at was Moonlighter 2, The Endless Vault. I sat there, I was like, I haven't played this game yet. I want to play this fucking game. Kept talking to the person taking appointments. She's like, sorry, we're full. I was like, any chance? She's like, if something comes up, swing on over. We'll see if we can do something. All weekend. Appointments? No? All right, thank you so much. Everyone kept saying, there's going to be a demo on Steam Next Fest. You can play it. I'm like, I know, but I want to play it here. I want the experience. I want to play it. So I roll over, no appointments. The last day I'm talking to the Toem devs, catch back up, like, hey guys, thanks for the demo yesterday, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to try and get my TikTok edited, which maybe I'll do after we finish recording here because I have stuff to do. I had to get B-roll. And then I ran into Moonlighter again. And she's like, hey, how's your weekend going? You get any cool appointments? I'm like, yeah, I got to play this, etc. She's like, you still trying to play? I'm like, I am. You got a slot for me? She's like, 5 o'clock? Now, I was supposed to leave at 5:30 to go get my flight. So I was like, 30-minute appointment. Yeah. She's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, put me on for 5. Let me do it. Let me do this. So I had sat down. I had put an alarm on my phone to make sure I got my baggage back from Vicarious because he let me hold on to it while I roamed the show floor because I had to leave the hotel. Sat down, played Moonlighter, loaded up, got the cutscene. I was just like, I'm here, baby. I'm playing this fucking game. And let me tell you, as I expected, loved everything I got to play in this game. And what shocked me is how much has changed from Moonlighter 1 to Moonlighter 2. Obviously, the main thing is the visuals. It's definitely heavier than the first game. I think there's a lightness to like the pixel art that it's hard to represent in 3D. It was very different, but not like, oh man, this has ruined the Moonlighter experience. I was like, okay, so a little bit sluggish, but like adjustable, like not an issue. Right through the game, there is a gun now. So you have whatever melee weapon you have, as well as like a projectile. So you can like hold the aim with one button, then you shoot the other direction and do your thing. Some of the things that we know, you make weapons, you make armor, as you get materials, you go out into the dungeons, you fight stuff, you pick up the loot, you come back and sell it in the shop. In Moonlighter 1, one of the big things was you would guess the price of something. You would come in, someone would like, you put it on the shelf, like this thing's worth $20. They go to buy it, like, oh, it's so cheap. You're like, oh, sell for $100. Like, that's too expensive. You put it for $80. Like, oh, I guess I need it, but I don't like it. Put her 50, and they're like, perfect. Like, cool. 50 is the right price. You can do, you can move around with this, but you want it at this spot. You don't do that anymore. Now the way things work is, you pick up items and they all have a price. So like you'll pick up a rock and it's like, this thing's worth $10.
Okay.
But your inventory, right? So normally if you would die in Moonlighter, you lose everything, or you use a set amount of stuff. You could pick certain things to send back. Rather than lose your inventory, the value of everything in your inventory when you die is decreased. So I don't know if there's a set amount, or if it changes every time or whatever. But if I have a full inventory, everything just starts plummets down. So I still get to keep it. I can take it back to my shop and sell it, but I won't be able to sell it for as much as it was worth if I didn't fucking die. That was something that at first I was like very on the fence about, where I'm like, I really love that part of Moonlighter 1, where I was like, oh, this is kind of what I like really enjoyed doing. And maybe I'm in the minority and they felt like that needed to change for the vast majority of the audience. Not a big enough thing where I'm like, I'm not going to play Moonlighter now. They've changed my shit. But I was like, oh, wow, I really expected this to be different. Another thing with the shop is like in the first game, you would just put stuff out, wait at the desk, and they would come to you and buy it. This time people will go to the stand where your item is, you approach them and they're like, here's the price of the thing. You'll get upgrades as you go, and there's like currency, there's tokens, there's like boosts and charms, which you could use on someone to be like, I'm going to increase the price of this by 20% for this sale. Right. And then you get more money on the item you're selling. Another different thing that wasn't in the first Moonlighter, which I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. I want to see how this evolves, and like very much think Potionomics, where you're playing the cards to kind of convince people like, I'm going to increase the price here and haggle. It's kind of that, but it's more just a click of a button to see what happens. Okay. And the other major thing with the dungeon crawling is in like Moonlighter 1, right? You have a more Binding of Isaac map where you enter a room, you can see what the new room is, you see the new doors, you progress. I need to go back and get the healing fountain or whatever. In this one, it is like, as you leave a room, you leave the room. There is no going back. At least in the section I play, I don't know if that changes as you go further, but like you'll get to the end of the room, you'll see like 2 or 3 tracks. You're like, this one will take you to one chest. This will take you to 2. This will take you to a mini boss. This will take you to items I didn't recognize. I don't know what that room is. I didn't get to go that far. And you take that path and then the platform disappears. So you can't go back like you previously could. So there's a little more of like the make a decision and move forward than you would. But along with that, it does have the more roguelike thing of like, oh, cool. You beat a boss, you open a chest and there's 3 upgrades. You can get one that does more melee damage, more projectile damage, or every time you get hit, you'll do blah, blah, blah. Or like the spike traps sit in the floor. These will fire 4 times as many spikes, or the spikes will do poison. Like you have your roguelike upgrades as you go, which is a very different thing, because Moonlighter was you upgraded your weapons and you kind of just survived and healed and went through. So this does a lot more that like typical roguelikes do, which again really dug. I don't think I expected all these differences from Moonlighter 1 to Moonlighter 2. I expected so much like copy paste, which again, not a bad thing. I think I was just a little taken aback and shocked at it. That being said, the demo is downloaded on both my PC and my Steam Deck. Once this is exported and uploaded, I will be playing more Moonlighter. I'm going to start fresh because I only have my 30 minutes. I got to the first major objective was like go through a day and earn like $5,000, which I was able to complete in the last like 5 minutes I had. So I plan to go back and play more and see what else I can discover and find out about Moonlighter 2 before it comes out here. I think it's July is the release date for Moonlighter. Yeah. My favorite game of the show. It was Moonlighter. The moment I saw it, I knew it was going to be. It absolutely would have been Toem if I didn't get my hands on it, but I'm glad I did because I love Moonlighter.
Yeah, I'm
Moonlighter.
happy that you got to play it because we were texting that you didn't get an appointment to play it, and I was like, they have to let you play it.
Yeah, you're like, you're Danny. I'm like, I know I am, but appointments, Tofr, there's no room. But yes, I got my appointment, or just the last minute. I was basically like the last slot of the day to slide in and play, and that felt, I don't think cathartic's the word, but something felt right about being all weekend not getting to play, and then being the last one to get to play Moonlighter before they shut everything down. I'm like, all right, good deal. All right, baby, I'm it. I'm the guy.
So would you say that the game is like the right kind of evolution from the first game for you, or are there still question marks around certain parts of it?
I like to think so. I think there's enough here that is still, I'm still playing as Will. I'm still doing the dungeon crawling and then the shopkeeping stuff. I think as I play this, there are absolutely going to be moments where I'm like, man, I kind of miss Moonlighter 1 for this reason. I don't think those are going to be enough to be like, this has ruined the franchise. I can't believe they would take these changes and blah, blah. I'm sure some fuckboy out there is going to cry about that. I think in terms of like the general audience getting to play a game and have accessibility to something that's more fun and less tedious, I think Moonlighter 2 is making all the right decisions in that avenue. I know there will be moments where I'm like, yeah, I preferred this in Moonlighter 1. I preferred the art style of Moonlighter 1. I preferred the shopkeeping of Moonlighter 1. By no means is that going to make me not enjoy what I've done in 2. I'm really liking what I have so far and seeing the evolution. That's going to be really fun. But yeah, I think there'll be for me, it's like God of War, right? With God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. I really like Ragnarok. Yeah. Ragnarok does so many awesome things, but 2018 was the first to do the new style. And I think that same thing's just like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom's great. I didn't finish it. But like Breath of the Wild was the first, like, let's do this new thing for Zelda. I think Moonlighter 1 will be here. Let's do this new thing for Moonlighter. We made some changes for 2, and that's great. But I think I'll have a special place for 1 that 2 might never measure up to, or I'm going to fucking lose myself and be like, holy shit, I really like the new stuff better. But right now, playing the demo that I have and looking forward to playing the game in a couple months, like,
I mean, hold one high. July, that's next month.
Baby, let's fucking go, dude. The thumbnail's ready. The thumbnail's ready, man. The thumbnail's ready for the July releases. Yeah, Moonlighter 2 was awesome. It continues to be awesome. Can't wait to play the demo when we're done here.
So to round off like the whole SGF part, episode, how do you look back on your experience? Like, was it a bit too much, or was it like perfectly as it should be? Were there things you were expecting that you didn't get to see, or vice versa?
I think SGF was, for a first time going, was exactly what I needed it to be.
Okay.
I think there are things about going to cons, right, where you're meeting other creators or other outlets and getting your name out there. And I mentioned earlier already, like, there's a lot of like, oh no, I didn't get to talk to this person, or I couldn't muster the courage to go talk to this person, right, and do these things. I think next year, the same way I did PAX, right? PAX East 2024 was, I met a bunch of people, can't wait to continue these friendships. 2025 was, hey friend, it's great to see you again. I'm gonna talk to you later tonight because I know we have that connection, but I got to go do these things now. I think going into Summer Game Fest 2026, assuming I'm, privileged enough to get invited again, I like to think I will. I think Jeff likes me. But getting to go again and being more like, hey, great to see you. Like, one of the things, I forgot to bring business cards. I had it on the list and just didn't grab them. So it was a lot of me talking to people and being like, oh God, if I don't have a business card. And like, I handed out a business card. The few I had in my wallet, I handed those out. A couple people, I was like, hey, I only have a few. They're like, cool. They just took the QR code in the back and bounced with it, right? Like, it was a good time. I think, again, we were in a bad place in our country to be in LA at the moment this was all happening. Again, privileged enough to not have to really deal with it firsthand, but still being around it, you could feel the atmosphere. We did talk a couple times, like, what is that going to look like next year? Is that going to change anything that Jeff does? Or is like, that was 2025 thing, we can't really affect how that happened, but it didn't really change anything for Summer Game Fest. I don't know. But it was very cool. It was very cool. I'm hoping to see more of my friends and stuff be able to make it out to SGF next year. I'm hoping they have the connections and the growth. We're like, yeah, dude, I get to hang out with everyone else that gets to come to SGF now. It's very cool. It is an awesome time. Such a dope opportunity that like landed in front of me, something that I don't think I've ever really thought about the opportunity of actually getting to go. And so you send the first like, hey, can I come? Email like, this is an invite only event. I'm like, I know. How do I get my invite? And then getting my invite the year after, right? Like, is pretty cool. And I would.
You worked for it. I mean,
damn tried.
Yeah. No, you work so hard making all of the content around indie games.
Yeah.
Doing your weekly streams, doing the weekly podcast. I mean, you've earned this. This isn't something that just landed in your lap. You worked for this.
I sure did. Look at me go. Goddamn.
Yeah.
I'm
look awesome. At you go.
I'm fucking great.
You
guys.
are. You fucking are.
Jeff, invite me to the Game Awards. Listen. I'll tell you, I had a honey I'm trying to bring. If you get me 2 tickets to the Game Awards, we'll fly out, assuming she wants to go. We'll fly to the Game Awards. I'll get dressed to the nines. I'm ready. I'm good, dog. Let me come to the Game Awards.
Maybe you should present the award.
Listen, what are we doing? We can't talk about the other thing that I sent you, but like that was really fucking fun for me. That like, I'll tell you, chat. My name got thrown around for some stuff. I'm like, I shut the fuck up. It was not presenting an award, in case I know that's what it segued off of, but that reminded me of another thing, which reminded me of the thing. But yeah, that was cool. Anyway, timestamp. Summer Game Fest was a blast. We're at 1 hour and 40 minutes. Tofr, you've been playing some Steam Next Fest demos, man. What you got going on over there?
I have a couple. I haven't played as many as I wanted to play so far, but I played a couple of really good ones.
Okay.
The first one is called Discounty.
Yes.
Where you get to manage your own supermarket.
Love it.
You arrive in this town where your aunt, I think. Yeah, your aunt owns a supermarket, and she's just sold the rights to this Discounty franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to run the place for her because the work is getting too much for her.
Sorry, Auntie.
You get to customize your own character, so you can make it look like yourself, or you can make it look like someone else entirely. And then you just get started. You get thrown in immediately. You get like a couple of spots to put your wares on. You get a couple of different wares to sell, and then you get customers. But the thing is, you do much more than just run your shop. You get to run around town. You have to like barter with local people who produce things locally.
Yeah.
So you can sell their wares in your store. But there's also mysterious things going on, which I won't get into here because I don't want to spoil it. If you want to know more, go and play the demo.
Should.
But it's so much fun. The gameplay loop for this one is just great. You have a couple of hours before the shop opens, where you can do stuff around town, and then after the shop closes in the evening, you have a couple more hours, and you constantly have different missions that you have to complete, and it's so good.
Okay.
The shopping as well. It's pretty basic. Like, you don't have to set prices. The prices are already there, just like with Moonlighter 2. But you have to run the register, and people will react to you if you are too slow or if you make mistakes. So you have to try and be as good as you can be.
Okay.
But it's a really good time. It looks adorable.
Yeah. I
really dig the art style. It's a modern take on something like Stardew Valley. And yeah, I'm gonna play the demo again because it's that good.
Hell yeah.
I just really enjoyed it so much.
So the demo had like a finite ending then? It's like you do so many days and it's like we're done? Or
I haven't played it to the finish yet.
Okay. Cool. I didn't know you said again. I was meant to start again or
Yeah, no, I'm gonna start it again as well. Cool. Because I think I was close to the end of the demo.
Yeah.
Because there was, like, for example, there's a farm in the village, but to reach it, you have to get rid of a tree that has fallen over that's blocking the road to the farm.
Yeah.
When I had the tree removed the next day, it was still there because in the demo it doesn't get removed.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't reach the farm. You get the farm in the demo.
Okay.
That's basically it. So I think I was pretty close to completing the demo, if that's possible.
Yeah.
But
okay,
it's a really good time.
Yeah, it's what I want to get to. So they had sent me an early demo code, and I got a couple of those. Everyone, I am so sorry I didn't get to touch any of them. SGF took a lot out of me. I'm praying for that. I got like no time to play anything because I had this. One I intend to play is Everdeep Aurora. I still have the demo download, but I haven't played it yet. But Discounting was one they sent me like, hey, we're doing a Next Fest demo. Feel free to cover it beforehand. So this is one that's on my list to jump into. I'm very excited. I've been following it on TikTok, Instagram, what social media platform have you, since they announced it. And I've said before, like the farming sim Stardew one, like they're very hit or miss. It depends what they are and how much they hit. And Discounting is one I've just been paying so much attention to that I'm like, I think it's going to hit, and getting my hands on it later is going to either prove or be like, oh my God, I don't like it. Weird. I didn't see that coming, but I assume I will.
I do think you're going to like it.
Yeah. It's awesome. Go Discounting. Let me see here. What else we got going on there?
You want me to do another to talk about another demo, or do you want to go first with one of yours?
I talked for the last hour 40 minutes. You run it. You got it. You go, and then I'll hop in with my two at the end, and then we'll go into actual what we've been playing.
Okay.
A great episode.
Well, my next demo is called "My Card is Better Than Your Card," and this is as this is going to be a huge surprise to you, but this is a roguelike deck builder.
What?
Yeah, I played a roguelike deck builder. Can you believe it?
I never thought I'd see the day. Holy shit! Wow. Ooh, all right.
But the game is pretty different to most roguelike deck builders because you don't collect cards, you create them with stickers. Yeah, you find stickers, you buy stickers, and then you have like the base cards where you put stickers on top of. And when you apply the stickers, those are the effects that the card will do. And it's got this Kabuto Park meets Sticky Business vibe.
That's exactly what I was thinking, dog. Both those games. Yeah.
And it's the coziest game. I mean, the only thing I didn't like is that like you play as a child and you battle other children with their decks.
Yeah.
And when they lose, they cry. And I didn't like that.
I get to make kids cry in a video game? Let's go!
Yeah, I'd rather not, but it's cool. And the thing is, and another way that this game is different from most deck builders.
Okay.
You don't fight enemies. You fight someone who's using their own deck of cards.
Okay.
And the ultimate goal of each battle is to reach a set number of stars. The first person to reach that number of stars is the victor.
Okay.
But it's really cool. It reminds me of like back in school when I didn't have that experience myself because I had no friends as a child.
Yeah.
But plenty of people will relate to this because, for example, if you were into Pokemon cards when you were younger and you had friends that you would battle on the school playgrounds and stuff.
Yeah.
This is this vibe exactly.
We love it.
And it's so wholesome. It's even more adorable than Kabuto Park, and I adore Kabuto Park.
Yeah, I think I had got an email this when I sent you the press thing, and you're like, "Yep, just got it." I was like, "All right, never mind then." And I didn't really take the time to look at it. I just saw like kind of like the thumbnail art and like looking at it. And I'm like, "Oh, this is precious." Like I think this is. We talked last week. I'm like, not that I'm not a deck building roguelike guy, but it's just kind of near and far between. Like, which ones am I going to invest my time into? And this looks like a great Steam. Well, I was gonna say a great Steam Deck game. How is the building the cards? Does that feel very like you should use a mouse to do, or?
I think it's easiest to do with the mouse. I haven't tried it with the controller yet.
Okay.
But the fact that you can choose where to place your stickers and stuff, it might get a bit finicky when you use the Steam Deck touchpad. But on the other hand, this would make an excellent Steam Deck game.
Yeah, I could see
just to sit back and listen to a podcast like this podcast.
Like this one. Perfectly the 5-star review, guys. The other thing that I think is really, really cute are or the image I have, right, is as I'm watching these cards get longer and longer and longer as they get more stats, is seeing that deck of cards, like, just my stack of business cards. I'm like, oh, this one will be like, "Nyeh," and like this one, like, how do you sleeve that? Or like, uh-oh, I wonder what card I draw next. Oh, it's my long ass squirrel card, like something like that. Like, it's who would have guessed the one that has 20 million abilities? Like, it's really funny to me.
But that's one of the cool elements to this game, and that will provide a lot of joy for fans of strategy, is with each sticker that you add to your card, you get an extra effect, but it will cost you 1 more energy.
Okay.
So if you stack cards with loads of stickers early on in the game, you might not be able to play them because you only have 3 energy in every round.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting finding that right balance between how many effects you want on your card and how many cards you want to play every time it's your turn.
Sure. Ooh, okay. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one to try. Definitely want to hop on this one soon.
Go for it.
Oh, cool. What you got next, dog?
My next one is called Crown Gambit.
Ooh, I forgot to change scenes so people saw me typing it. They knew what you were going to play.
Oh, no. I lost the element of surprise.
You did. We'll get the next one. It'll be fun.
Crown Gambit is a card game, but not in the roguelike deck builder.
Okay.
And this one, it's basically an RPG where you play as a team of 3 novice paladins who, at the start of the game, you're escorting the king on a secret mission. And then the king gets killed.
No!
And things start happening, yeah. But all of the gameplay, like the dialogue is presented in a visual novel style, but all of the gameplay is in card battle. As in, your cards are placed on a grid, and so are the enemy's cards. And then you have to move your cards around depending on who you want to attack or who you want to defend from.
Okay.
You also have cards on the bottom of the screen because your 3 paladins all have a deck of their own. So you can choose, like in combat, you can choose whether to just do a basic attack or you can play one of your cards, which will have a special effect. It's a really interesting combination of gameplay elements. And I'm really digging it so far. There's a huge ton of lore to get into. Like, I did a lot of reading during this demo.
Yeah.
But it's presented in a really cool way. Like, you get to make dialogue choices. There are moments where you have to pursue someone, and that's done with the cards as well. As in, you have your 3 cards at the bottom of the screen, and then in front of you are 3 cards, and the person you're pursuing will be below one of those 3 cards, and you have to be quick to choose the right card fast enough.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you lose track of them. I think it's a really cool gameplay element. I'm probably not explaining it really well, but there's a lot going on in this game, and it's really hard to explain it in a tiny fragment of this episode.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because we talked about it during the June releases video, and I sat there editing and watching, and I'm like, I'm seeing it, I'm picking it up. It just seemed like one where I was like, once I'd have my hands on it, I can wrap my head around what exactly I'm doing turn per turn.
It's easier to understand when you're playing it than it is to explain it, to be honest.
I could see that. And like, I don't think this game, I don't know why I'm doing this right. I'm like, I don't think this game looks bad or anything. I don't know that it's like a Danny game. As I watch, I'm like, I don't know. This is probably one of the card building games. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe. I love the visual style and I like the vibe of it. But I look at the list in front of me. I'm like, maybe. Well, we'll see if this is even an option for me. But
I can imagine this not being a game that you pick up this month with the number of releases we have to choose from.
Come on, guys,
but it I can recommend it. Like, if you have any love for card games in any form, then give this one a try. Especially if you like games with deep lore, because For example, why was the king accompanied by 3 novices when he has a lot of security usually to protect him?
Yeah.
There's a lot of intrigue. It has like that. I'm not the biggest Game of Thrones fan, but I would compare it to that because there's like all of the intrigue, the interpersonal relationships. There's a lot going on. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, and I think I played it for about half an hour, but that half an hour was packed.
Yeah.
With gameplay. Yeah. So much happened, like story-wise, gameplay-wise. It was cool.
Hell yeah. I do like the visual style a lot. Like I can't think of what game it reminds me of, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, this looks cool. Part of the mix. I didn't watch that showcase either. Fuck me sideways. God damn it, so much shit to fucking look at. Okay. It's fine. I'll get to it. I will say right now I'm at 1,121 games on my wish list right now after what I've seen so far. So see if we can hit 2,000.
I'm at 852.
Gotta catch up, bud. It's our wish list and everything.
I was at 600 and something before the showcase.
Oh, okay. And listen, I haven't even hit my wholesome games one yet, so I'm about to fly, baby. Let me see here. I'm excited to hear about this next one because this is also downloaded for me. It's one that really hits like a Danny type game, so I want to hear how you liked it.
I wonder if it's a Danny type game. It's called Dispatch.
Yeah, baby.
And it's described as a superhero workplace comedy where choices matter. Basically, you are a superhero. What was he called? Mecha Man or something?
Okay.
And you have lost your mech. It was damaged in battle. It was destroyed.
Yeah.
And because of that, you are asked to join the dispatching team for superhero. And if you choose to accept this mission, apparently this dispatching team can get you back your mech.
Okay.
So you have some drive to do this, but at the same time, you've lost all motivation. You're like down on your luck. You feel like shit, but you do the job anyway. What does the job entail? Well, you sit at a desk and you look at a computer screen and you will see an image of the city, and every once in a while an event will pop up, and it will be someone who's logged into the dispatching network requesting assistance. Now, you have a team of superheroes, although the term superheroes is doing a lot of heavy lifting here because these are like the Z-list. You know, these are. I think most of them were like bad guys that turned.
Okay.
Good question mark.
Yeah.
But yeah, the demo focused mostly on the actual dispatch.
Okay, I was gonna ask because the trailer is all the cut scenes and this is from a lot of the team that made like the Telltale games, Wolf Among Us, The Walking Dead, Tales from the Borderlands. So like I see the Telltale part. And I was listening to you describe the dispatch part. I'm like, that they don't really show that in the trailer. They're really showing the like cut scenes and everything else. So I was interested to see how that worked.
Yeah, because the dispatching, like, it's fun gameplay wise, but it's not exactly the most explosive thing to look at.
Okay.
Because basically you're sitting at this monitor and you have this picture of the city, and that's what you're looking at. And then you'll have like bubbles popping up with like places where things are happening, but you're still looking at the exact same screen. And that was most of the demo, sadly.
Okay.
I sadly might be a bit too harsh, because I enjoyed the gameplay immensely. It's a lot of fun. Each of these heroes has their own personality, which really comes to life even in this short demo. I just wish I could have played more of the other stuff as well.
Sure.
Because there seems to be a lot going on. Like, the person who recruited you, she's like very touchy-feely with you. Why is that? You don't know. There's a speedster hero.
Okay.
who you initially don't recognize them because they've grown old, even though they're supposed to be the same age as you. But because every time they use their speed force, they age as rapidly as they move.
No.
And that's why they've gotten older. Now, when you meet them, you've got like this rapport going on between the two of you.
Yeah.
And the sense of humor is hit or miss.
Okay.
You'll either love this or you won't. Because it's very much like the hard hitting, like throwing burns at one another.
Yeah.
Constant. And doing it with very harsh language as well.
Okay.
So it's not gonna be for everyone. But they've got a great voice cast.
Yeah,
the speedster is the older guy you could see in the trailer. He's voiced by Jeffrey Wright, and he does an excellent job.
And I know the name, and I can't put the face with it. Who's Jeffrey Wright?
Jeffrey Wright is the guy who plays Uatu in Marvel's What If.
Okay. Yep. I pulled up his face. Yeah, I remember this man. I remember him. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know the main guy. I guess the mech guy is Aaron Paul, from Breaking Bad.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I don't know who she is. Laura Bailey is one of the characters. I don't know if she's like the blonde superhero. If she's I think the demon lady is Alana Pierce.
Could be.
So,
I didn't really recognize her voice.
Okay, interesting. I think I saw her on Instagram say it. I know the Bat guy is Moist Critical. Charlie is playing the Bat guy. He has the great line in the trailer where he's like, the dude crushes his Twinkie. He's like, "You gonna finish those Twinks?" He's like, "That's not." Yeah, go ahead, have them. Like, I was like, okay. Yeah. I think I'm gonna enjoy this one, but
that line is exactly a good example of the kind of humor you can expect in this.
Yeah.
If that's something you can find funny, like the Twinks joke, then you'll enjoy the sense of humor in this game. But if you think like that's a bit iffy, then I think the rest of the humor will be iffy as well.
Okay. It sounds like I'm all in. We love making fun of Twinks, right, Tofr? That's what Playlog's all about.
Wow. You're just involving me in this now?
Yeah. You signed on for this. Listen, as a group of people who, like, whenever we're playing Rivals and the Hulk shrinks down, we're like, he's twinketing. You know what we're about.
But I'm excited to play more of this.
Yeah.
Especially because I want to see like how it balances out. How the actual dispatching, how much of the game that takes up.
Yeah.
And how much of it is the more cutscenes kind of gameplay with the dialogue choices.
Yeah. I think if you mentioned,
it's really interesting.
If you mentioned anything that nervous isn't the word, but has me like hesitant to see like how it's gonna go, right? Where you're like, it's so minimal, that it's so much of the demo, right? And the trailer is so much cutscene. Like, how much is gonna be something you play? Like, if it is going to be, I pick up the game, I watch an hour cutscene, I get to dispatch, I watch another hour cutscene with a couple dialogue options. Like, how much will I get to play versus watch? Something I think I'll be fine with. I think this world looks dope, but I could see the critique being like, sorry guys, there's nothing to play here.
I don't know, because the dispatching, there's a lot going on.
Okay.
It's not like you send out a team and then they do their thing and it finishes. No, you can have multiple events happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have no team members left to send out to events because most of them are on missions and the others are resting because after each mission they need some time to recharge.
Sure.
During missions, things can go wrong. Like there's one guy on your team has like pyro. How do you say that?
Pyrokinesis.
Pyrokinesis, yeah. And apparently he got bored waiting for a mission, so he set fire to part of the city.
Okay.
And then you get a call asking for assistance putting out the fire. and your character is like, "Did you do that? You did that, didn't you?"
No.
I was like, no, I was on a break. I couldn't have done that.
But if they need help, I guess I could go out there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun.
No, it's a good time, and
Good deal.
yeah, I'm eager to play more.
For sure. All right, timestamp. Let's run it here. We just hit our 2 hour and 3 minute mark. So what else you got?
Okay, I'll go quickly for these.
We're good.
Next.
We'll run it.
So my next one is another superhero-ish game.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Nova Hearts.
Yeah, baby.
This is a game that's part superhero turn-based strategy and part dating simulator.
Yep.
You play a young woman who I think has flunked out of school and returns to her home city.
Okay.
And when she gets there, she meets up with friends from her past.
Mm-hmm.
And there's immediately flirting going on all over the place. And then you get invited to this huge party.
Mm-hmm.
And while at the party, something happened.
Okay.
During the demo, they don't really go into what exactly that event is.
Yeah.
But something happens. And all of a sudden, the city is overrun by these cat-like creatures who are attacking everyone.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, you can turn into this magical girl and use your superpowers to fight these monsters.
Yeah.
In turn-based battles. And the turn-based gameplay is really cool because it's not just you do your move, the enemy does their move. You have two phases. Both you and the enemies have two phases.
Mm-hmm.
There's a phase where you plan your move, and there's a phase where you actually perform your move. But depending on how much preparation your move needs,
yeah,
the order in which the events eventually happen can change.
Okay.
Like someone can need 2 turns to prepare a move, someone will need 4 turns. And yeah, that changes gameplay up a lot.
Gotcha.
Especially because then a bit later in the demo, you can start doing combos with multiple characters.
Okay.
If and only if you plan your moves at the same moment.
Yeah.
So there's really it's really intricate gameplay, and I really dig it.
Hell yeah.
It's also incredibly queer, which I love. It's all inclusive, this game. And you have your dialogue choices, which will influence how the story evolves as well. And the demo, this basically comes down to when you get back to your home city, you meet up with 2 friends. One of them is pretty volatile, and the other is pretty cautious.
Okay.
So your dialogue options will differ between, are you going to be cautious as well, or are you going to be all out, or are you going to search for some middle ground? And that will influence how battles go, but that will also influence how the relationships with the other characters evolve.
Uh-huh.
So there's a lot going on, and I really dig it. You have your in-person conversations, but you're also messaging your friends, sometimes in a group chat, sometimes separately to each other.
Okay.
I'm digging it.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the demo. I got to play, I think, 1.5 years, 2 years ago at this point. And I maybe we talked about it the other week, and my brain threw it out. But yeah, this comes out in a couple days on the 19th here. Which I'm like, oh shit, yeah, this game was fun. So will I get around to it now? Probably not. But game looks super fucking dope. I had a great time playing it, and I'm excited to see other people get their hands on it.
Mm-hmm. I also really dig the sense of humor that the game.
Okay.
It's if I have to choose one word to describe it, it's joyful.
Oh, we love that. Get joyful, baby. Go fall in love. Go be just go be a little gay this month. Go do all that. It'll be fun. And let me see. You've got one more you've played so far from Next Fest. I'm gonna pull that guy up.
One more. And this one is very much Disco Elysium inspired.
Yes.
It's called Rue Valley.
Okay.
It's a narrative RPG about a man who is staying at this motel. He's kind of forced to be there because he's there for therapy sessions. We don't know why he's being forced to get therapy. Something must have happened, but we don't learn what just yet. But yeah, you start out in a room with your therapist, then you go outside, talk to the receptionist to get your key for your room. You go to your room, you go back out because you're thirsty. A man is driving recklessly in the parking lot, and all of a sudden, the sky is on fire.
Oh no.
Yeah. And the moment the sky is on fire, everything goes black, and you wake up back in the room with your therapist at the start of your day.
Okay.
It's a time loop game.
I kind of dig those personally.
Yeah, me too. And it's done really well because for the first really impressive thing is gameplay will differ very much depending on how, like, what characteristics you give your character in the character creation screen. You can't change his appearance, but you can choose how his personality is. Is he an introvert? Is he more of an extrovert? Is he somewhere in between? There's a couple of stats that you can choose to spend skill points on, and they will influence things because a lot of dialogue options depend on, like, if you're impulsive, if you're sensitive, stuff like that. It's very interesting because I want to go back to this demo and start with a completely different character and see how my gameplay changes up.
Sure.
Now you get to play a couple of days in the demo.
Okay.
And it's already interesting to see the changes you can make from day to day, because you keep your memories in between days. Like at the end, when everything has gone black, you go to this, like, kind of mind palace, I would call it.
Okay.
Where you can see your memory. So at the end of the first day, you can just go back and see, like, I met the receptionist, I saw a reckless driver, stuff like that. But then at the end of the second day, you'll have your memories of the day you just went through, but also the memories from the day before.
Yeah.
For example, when you're sitting in the room with the therapist, you hear clanging coming from outside. And when you leave the therapist's office, you see that it's a woman punching the vending machine because it won't give her coffee.
Yeah.
On the second day,
right,
you're sitting in the therapist's office, and you hear the clanging noise, and you can picture this woman, but you don't know why, because you have no idea that you're stuck in a time loop just yet. Okay. And yeah, it's really cool, and I'm digging it. The art style is fantastic. I get that it wears its Disco Elysium influence on its sleeve. But it's still something very much its own. And yeah, it's if Disco Elysium likes are gonna be a genre, this is gonna be a good example of.
Listen, I'll take them. This one looks great. Another one that, like, I want to download and check out, hoping the demo lasts longer than next fest, because I'll be like, right now I want to play different ones than Tofr did, and I don't think anything I've downloaded other than Disc County crosses over at the moment. Dispatch, yeah, but this is definitely one I want to try, but not, before. Let's see what else I can play that's new for this week. But yeah, Revive looks dope. We saw this at Triple I think, first, and then it was somewhere else this past week, and I forget who all had it, but yeah, this looks dope.
It's all a blur. All of these showcases.
It's too many. So many showcases.
Yeah.
But
you played some demos as well, didn't you?
I did. Ba-boom. I closed the folder that had the footage in it, so give me a second here, Dean.
Oh, no.
Since getting back, I've only got to play a handful of demos. The first one being Morbid Metal, which is one that I think it was a Triple I initiative, could be misremembering. But essentially, Morbid Metal is a action roguelike where you are playing as this robot character that can change forms. You unlock new forms the further you progress. The demo only has the first two. the main character you play as is called Flux, which was funny. I didn't know that. That's the name of my D&D character I play every week. So I immediately am like, oh, cool. I'll remember this one. You have basically like 3 skills. You have a B, I play controller, B, a Y, and then RB is like the charge up one. So as you're doing damage, everything, you're charging that up. And then you have a dash, which is what you use to keep your momentum going. It's very Ghost Runner coded, where like if you play Ghost Runner, it has that same visual style, that cyberpunky neon colors kind of deal. And then you have a jump / double jump, which you use to traverse. And really it's just run into the room, beat up the bad guys, move to the next room, beat them up again. Each time you complete an encounter, you get your roguelike upgrades. Like this one, your attack is faster. You'll do additional damage. You'll spawn a drone when combat starts. This game is gorgeous. It ran fine enough on my computer. You know, like I think ran good. Trying to capture footage. I'm sure you'll see eventually footage that's all hiccupy and not super great. But the game ran like butter. It was awesome. As I got to like one of the third rooms, I unlocked the second character whose name is, I think it's Iku is how you pronounce it. Eku. Who is like the cover art one we've seen from the trailer, like cool samurai hat with a big long like axe. I'm trying to see if I can find the footage where I discovered them. I already have them here, so somewhere in here. The game's really fun. I think I'm going to dig this one on. Yeah, here you can see where it starts to get choppy, but this is where my guy shows up. I think this is one I will enjoy playing. Axe. It's a big axe, man. But like so far with the 2 characters, you have Flux is like the really fast, rapid one where you can like your one attack, your B attack is like you send like sword slashes through the air that do damage, and your Y is to like teleport behind him and smack him in the ass, right? And they have like the perfect parry, perfect dodge things. Like if you perfect dodge, it gives you the face button options. I'm assuming as you progress, you'll get more skills. But if you dodge perfectly, like do you want to hit X and do an attack, which you'll do like another flurry of blows kind of deal. Eku is a lot more of launch enemies up and then wind up, and on their way down, you swing and hit them again, and like big, heavy, meaty attacks. I say meaty with all robots and stuff, but you get the point. I dug this one a lot. I want to see it evolve more and like what other classes are going to be and how often I'll be able to switch and everything. I got to what I assume would be the first boss, but that's not implemented in the demo. So you like get to the area, you pick up the item, like, thank you for playing. Narratively, there's this like, who will you be kind of energy, like the godly voice telling you to like, don't listen to these people, complete your path, go where you need to go. I don't know exactly what that entails for like our character, if that really means anything, or if this is going to become more of just the gameplay is the king and that's what you're paying attention to. But yeah, I had a good time. I think console will be the way I'd prefer to play this. I don't even know if it's coming to console yet. I thought Steam Deck, but I don't know if my Steam Deck's going to run this bitch any better than my PC did. So I don't know. We'll find out.
You don't always know with the Steam Deck. It runs some games perfectly. Right. That I was thinking like, what?
Yeah. But I could see launching this one, just hearing the fan in the background. I'm like, yeah, it's not going well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I tried playing Crescent County on my Steam Deck.
Okay. And it ran like butter
during Next Fest, and no, it like I start the game, the screen goes black, and the fans are just going wild.
Yeah.
And then just Steam Deck stops working.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because I really want to play that game, and I'm house sitting at the moment, so I'm not at home as much.
To your computer.
That's
a lot of steps.
I don't even have a car, Danny.
Just carry it, you know? Put it a little backpack style, you know? Wrap it in a blanket, tie it in a knot. That sounds dangerous. Don't do that. Yes, Morbid Metal. Really enjoy what I've done so far. I definitely want to dive in more and see what more there is to offer, but I don't think there's a date or anything on that one. I think we're still pretty early, but the last demo I got to play is one I've been looking forward to a very long time. I didn't know how to demo until I got home, but this is Henry Halfhead, and this got announced at some showcase a while back. Essentially, you are playing as half of a head, and the whole thing is you can dive into objects and you complete puzzles by doing so. The demo starts you as like a baby, right? You're like, your parents let you in the crib, you're all swaddled up in your blanket, and you have the British narrator telling the story. I didn't have captions on. I don't know if there were captions. I didn't try to mess with it. But they're like, what would you like to do next? Yeah, you're just chilling there like, what am I gonna do? they give you a hint button. So if you ever get lost, I didn't have to use it too often. Like I used it here because it seemed like the tutorial was to learn that you have a hint button. But they show the door, they close it. And then as you like snap out of your blanket, you're going through the life of Henry, and you're unlocking like core memories. You'll start like with one of those put the shape in the box like puzzles, and you're diving into the square so you can put it in there. And there's a joke off the rip like, that's right, you found a new item, it goes in the square hole. And I'm like, they did the thing for the thing. There's a few other side mechanics, right? Like there's a puzzle you can solve. The further you progress, you'll get new puzzle pieces. But as Henry and you're moving around, you'll rotate and turn on certain angles. So you need to make sure you're like holding the lock button so you can line yourself up. Just a side mission. There's more like, let me see here. Like here's the puzzle I'm talking about, right? We dive in and connect these pieces, and it's just, again, a side achievement. You get books and blocks and everything to try and build a tower to a certain height. As you complete a small task, you unlock the next task, which will be the big like penultimate one here is it's Henry's 3rd birthday, right? You go to a calendar, you rip a bunch of pages, you fast travel forward, and you're like, oh, the cake's in the kitchen. If we move all of the birthday stuff to the table, the birthday will be here sooner. So you grab the plate, you jump across the room to deliver that where it needs to go. You bring the cake over, you put in the candles, you can light the candles. Once you have the thing set up, you're like, if we eat the cake, the birthday kind of just gets going, right? So you get a knife, you cut up the cake, you eat the cake. It's like, our parents are going to find out. And there's just all these fun, goofy little things. I try to think of what to compare it to, and I almost want to go the route of like Untitled Goose Game with less chaos. You're not going to like ruin somebody's day by doing things, but you kind of get a checklist of like, build a tower this high, find this hidden item. If you go to these books and turn into them, the X opens them and the narrator will start reading whatever the book would be, right? There's outlets and things you can plug in. There's more items in like the next room where there's like scissors. I ended up finding a knife and used that to cut open presents as opposed to like the actual scissors that I was supposed to find and didn't. The demo, if you figure out where you're going pretty quick, you can probably knock out like 15-20 minutes. It's not super long, but it was very fun. I had a good time. I'm hoping the full game is close around the corner. I believe this one's a Pop Agenda PR team working on this one, and I'm very excited to play more. Excuse me. But yeah, like you jump through the cake, and if you hit the floor, you leave like a chocolate stain and whatever, and you want to grab the plate. You can grab a mug, you grab the candles, you can get a lighter, matches. I didn't get to do everything I think the game had to offer. I think as I found the end, I'm like, here's the door. They set you up with like one last room. And they're just like, oh yeah, it'd be crazy if, your parents caught you. Like, you better go to your room before they find out what happened in the kitchen. And they're like, on to our next story. Watching Henry grow up. He's turning this year old now, but that's for another day. And then, roll credits, end of the demo. Very fun, very cool. The vibe is all I want it to be. Again, I'm not sure if we have a date for it yet, but yeah, super cozy. Fun time.
I have this one downloaded as well because this one has been on my radar for a while too. I'm glad it's such a fun experience.
Yeah, super great. And like we see more in the trailer that this was, again, a small snippet of what I assume is just the beginning of the game, and we'll see more of it later. But yeah, really fun. Super cozy, simple, not really challenging. If there were moments where I did feel, excuse me, long podcast, baby. Let me tell you. If there were moments where like I was like challenged, it was just hit the hit button and be like, oh, be crazy if you lit a candle. Got it. Okay, I see what I got to do. Like it's not challenging. I feel like, thank goodness you're here. Less slapstick, but as a good comparison for like the type of loop you'd be going through of like do the thing, find the thing, complete the thing, do the next thing. Yeah. So yeah, Henry Halfhead coming places someday, eventually.
Every trailer should have that now. Coming places someday.
Coming places someday. It is funny, right? Because like when you do the interviews with developers and you're like, oh, what platforms? You're like Steam and consoles. I'm like, okay, so is that Switch 2? Is that PlayStation 4 and 5? Or like consoles? Consoles is the answer. I'm like, okay, understood. I see your message. But yeah, that's all my Next Fest demos so far. I'm sure I have more to talk about next week. Oh
my God. It's nearing midnight my time, but
I
not
know,
your
dog.
time.
It's only 5 p.m. here, but it's been a morning. I I'll let you decide because you have 3 things to talk about. Is there one you want to pick? Do you want to like rapid fire the 3 we talked about? Does it work to?
I'm just gonna rapid fire them
Cool.
because this podcast is going on
Yeah.
quite long.
We got it. Run it. Go for it.
Yeah. The first game is called Backspace, Backspace, Backspace. And this is a very short narrative adventure. Very much similar to Without a Dawn, which I talked about recently.
Yeah.
It released in August of last year, but hasn't received that much traction yet.
Okay.
But I think it's a really cool game. It's the developer's first game, I believe.
Okay.
And it's basically talks about what it means to write, and especially in an age where AI is supposed to write in our place, and stuff like that. This one hit a chord with me because I have tried writing in different ways in the past. I mean, I do my reviews over on so many games, of course, but I have also tried writing fiction and stuff like that. And this felt like I felt very seen.
Okay.
The doubts that this writer struggles with, the lack of conviction that he struggles with, the lack of motivation that comes with that. It was really interesting. I can't say much more than that because this game, I played through it twice to get different endings just to see what, because you can go the hopeful route, you can go the less hopeful route. And my 2 playthroughs combined came down to about half an hour. So this is a pretty short adventure, but if you have like any creative talent and you've faced the struggles that every creative faces when they're trying to make things, I think you'll recognize things in the game.
Okay.
And it's really well done, like for a first game especially. I dig this a lot, and I'll be keeping an eye on Blue Tango Street, the developer, to see what else they make.
Hell yeah. Like this.
Then the second game I played is called Cantaloupe Chronicle. This is a game. I had the order differently in the doc earlier.
Okay.
But I don't want to end on a negative note,
Fair
so
enough.
I put this one in the middle because I struggled with this one.
You put it on Instagram, so I'm interested.
Yeah, you play as a young woman who's doing an internship at her aunt's newspaper in the town of Cantaloupe, which is a town with a population of 12 people.
That's only a few.
Yeah, and I think I set the wrong expectation for this game myself.
Okay.
With you playing a journalist, an intern journalist, I thought this was gonna be somewhat like Times and Galaxy.
Yeah.
But this was very much a traditional point and click game. And the reason that I didn't gel with that is because it uses the point and click logic of combine this item with this item to do this action so you can unlock this item. And I just don't vibe with that. Especially because early in this game, I'm going to give a quick example. Early in this game, you have to get someone a beer.
Okay.
But you're underage, so you can't buy them a beer. So you have to buy a bottle of root beer because the bottle looks similar to the actual beer bottles.
Yeah.
And then you find an empty beer bottle, so you have to get the label off of the beer bottle so you can put it on the root beer bottle.
Yeah. Oh,
but to get that label off, you have to create Steam.
Okay.
So my logic was my logic was I go into the kitchen, I grab a pot, I put water in it, I put it on the stove, and I have steam.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, for some reason in this game, you have to go to the diner, sneak into the kitchen when the chef isn't in there, steal a pot, then go to the kitchen of your aunt's house and then use it there with the water and the stove.
Yeah.
And the game kind of lost me with that moment alone.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's like this feels like making puzzles for the sake of making puzzles, not because it makes sense story-wise. You know?
Yeah.
Another thing that didn't mesh with me is that, like, I got some emotional whiplash from this game. Because on the one hand, you're writing articles for the newspaper about a local fishing con.
Sure.
And stuff like that. Like really local, small town stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, you're being asked by the newspaper's top reporter to investigate murders and conspiracy theories. And I'm like, I'm an intern. I'm underage. What do you mean?
Yeah.
You couldn't figure this out, and now you want me to figure it out? Like, it didn't help that the gameplay felt pretty archaic as well. Like,
yeah,
having to enter the menu every single time to use every single item.
Right.
It just felt like too much of. I didn't finish the game.
That's fair. That sucks a little bit. I can't say it's one I was like gravitating to. I think we talked about it releasing last week and mentioned like there's like the default character pack for like developers that I immediately think of every time I look at these characters, which it doesn't look like it's that pack, but it's got the same style. And that's to me like not like that necessarily means it's a bad game, but it tends to be like a lower quality. Like I'm not too gung ho about trying it. I'm not hearing much that I love, from you here. So it sounds like one that I could pass on unless I see it pop on PlayStation Plus for an easy platinum or something, so.
Yeah.
But
let's swiftly move on to my final game.
Okay. Oops.
So
I hit the wrong button.
You to bed. Oh no.
Bad? What do you mean? I got to edit this tonight. I got to get this shit done. I got to post this tomorrow.
All right. My final game is Squeakross Home Squeak Home.
Oh yeah?
Oh my god, Danny. Squeakross is so wholesome. It's a Picross game. It's if you like Picross games, you're gonna love this one. If you don't like Picross, then I don't see why you would play this.
Okay.
But yeah, the basic idea here is you have a rodent friend that you can customize to look like your own pet or like something you imagine your pet would look like, whatever you want it to be. And they move into the new space, but it's completely empty. It's just an empty room. But luckily, there's a catalog of furniture and clothing, and the Picross puzzles are just basically unlocking each piece of furniture and each piece of clothing. And it plays so well. Like the whole Picross gameplay of it is just what you would want from a Picross game.
Yeah.
Moving from puzzle to puzzle goes swiftly. You don't waste time with things. And then when you're done with the puzzles, you go back to like this room and you get to decorate it in any way you want with the kind of furniture you want. You can customize your rodent even more with the new pieces of clothing you get. And it's just such a wholesome time. I'm struggling, like, even now during Next Fest, I'm struggling to put this one down.
Hell yeah.
Because it's so much.
It looks great. You talked about it before. I played the demo and I was pretty high on it. I wasn't a Picross kid, so it was a very like new thing for me, but I picked it up fairly quickly. Yeah, I see it. I get it. And doing the whole like Animal Crossing home designer part of it after you do the puzzles, I'm like, yeah, I see the vibe for this. It's there.
Oh, absolutely. And another cool thing, it might be a tiny thing to most people, but I love it, is as you solve puzzles, you also unlock sticker pack.
Okay.
And these stickers you can use to decorate your loading screen, your start screen, and your puzzle screen. So everyone's game is gonna be completely different.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Okay.
You even give your rodent like personality traits.
Yeah.
So there's literally no two people who are gonna play the same game here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so dope. Yeah, Squeakross, that's a good highlight. I definitely I think this will be a fun one. That came out, 2 days ago? No, it's a couple days ago on the 7th. So
on the 7th, it's Shadow dropped during the wholesome.
That's right. I didn't know that until a couple days later. Yeah, go Squeakross. An adorable time.
Thought that was a good one to end on.
Absolutely. And honestly, let's knock out these indie releases and we'll call it a day. I know we have the indie spotlight, but I'm done talking about games.
Okay.
All right. Take a nap.
You want me to do the indie releases?
You know what? Run it, Tofr. You got this. Go ahead. You start.
Right. These are the indie releases from June 12th to June 18th. First up, we've got Forgotlings releasing on June 12th for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. You've got Kind Folks on June 12th for PC. Hellbreak is coming to PC in early access on June 12th. The Altars is a pretty big game that's releasing on June 13th for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic coming to PlayStation and PC on June 13th. Cast and Chill releases on June 16th for PC. Lost in Random, The Eternal Die releases on June 17th for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Ultra Mega Cats releases on June 17th for PC in early access. Date Everything, another big release this week, on June 17th for PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Desktop Fishing releases on June 17th for PC. June 17th is a day, Danny. It's a day.
It's a big day.
Kitty Builder also releases on June 17th for PC. Tron Catalyst releases on June 17th for PC. Awita Journey of Hope releases on June 18th for PC. On the same day, we have Crown Gambit, which we mentioned earlier, releasing on PC. We also have Vigangsters releasing on PC. Netherworld Covenant for PC in early access. And Battle Train on. Any of those you really like?
I have to see what Vigangsters is.
It's a deck builder.
Okay. I see it. Looks okay. Looks fine. Yeah, there's a handful. The Altars is one. I was hoping to get a key for. I might get it on launch day. I'm not sure, but the Altars looks cool. Both Cast and Show and Desktop Fishing, being two idle games about fishing, both look great. I mean, Date Everything is one I'm very excited to play. We'll probably stream that launch day if I get the chance. And then one I can say I've been playing, but just don't have much to cover on it yet, is Lost to Random, The Eternal Die. Really dope roguelike. We played the demo. I have my Thunderful Insider key that I've been playing. I haven't made it any further than I did in the demo, so I had nothing new to contribute. By this time next week, both myself and Connor should have played it. We'll do one of our segment, like, let's cut to the other Danny, and then put that segment in and type deal. So that'll be fun. We'll cover that one more next week. But yeah, there's a good handful here that I'm definitely interested in. A lot that I'm not super familiar with. It's so weird that I've been looking at a poster for Battle Train all weekend, and I still don't really know what that game is. So I have to see.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Tron Catalyst is going to be like. It's made by Bethel Games, who made Thomas Was Alone, and who made the previous Tron game, which was a visual novel. I'm just curious to see what they make of it now. It has a Next Fest demo that I've downloaded but not played yet.
Okay. Bet. Man, busy week. Especially that 17th, man. 17th is a hell of a day. But I think with that timestamp, yeah, guys, normally do the indie spotlight. We'll either do we'll do it next week, or we'll do two. We'll figure it out. We'll do something. But this episode is just verging on 3 hours, and you know what? What we gonna do, baby? What we gonna do? Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Playlog. If you enjoyed, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to leave a like and a comment. What was your favorite Steam Next Fest demo so far? What are you looking forward to playing? Did you make it a Summer Game Fest? What did you think of all the cool games and stuff that Jeff Keighley showed off? If you're listening on audio services, podcasts, Spotify, etc., be sure to leave that 5-star review because it really helps the podcast grow. Tofr, little stinkly winkly dinklies over here want to find the internet. Where could they go?
Through my link tree, which is Play Nice Kids in one word.
There you have it. And then, of course, at CGDannyB all over the internet. I don't know what stream schedule looks like yet. I don't know if I'm streaming this week. Maybe on Monday. Who knows? Life's a highway. We're going to ride it all night long. Thank you guys again so much for hanging out. Jeff, thank you so much for inviting me to SGF. Can't wait to see you next year. I tried to cheers you. I have no drink to cheers with. I have my Stein. Here we go. Cheers.
Yeah.
I moved it over here so I could timestamp, but it's a right-handed mug. So I I had to like pick it up, and I want to spill my Sprite. So it's been a day. It's been a time. But yes, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Mwah.